for like 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How many weeks has it been?
It's been a while. No, we've only missed two. It's only been
Two
two.
weeks. It's bad. Yeah. Last week fell apart, or the week before. Oh God, I don't know. When did PAX happen? It feels like a year ago already.
Yeah, it was post PAX.
Yeah. All right. Well, before that brings up what I wish to speak of. How you
Mm-hmm.
feeling about the podcast? So do you is it? Let me and be brutally honest with me. Do you like doing it? Do you want to continue doing it? That's it. Those are the two questions I got.
I like hanging out with you.
Yeah,
I'm getting burned out on watching new stuff.
that's what I'm okay. Well, so, and that's what I was, I know you're very busy with stuff. I'm very busy with stuff. Again, I'm running on. You can see the bag. Wow, you can really see the bags in my eyes.
I
Holy
saw
shit,
your
is it
post
that
too. I know
bad?
you're grinding for that computer.
Yeah, yeah. I hate. You know what? Bags under your eyes is like the most telling sign, and I hate it. That looks really bad. I didn't realize it was that bad. But what am I? Wait, what am I doing right now? What am I saving as? Oh, um, I was gonna talk is I've been getting some feedback from some people and some things I agree with. Is just like I'm thinking because also Dea was always I wanted Dea to be a backup. One of the reasons I didn't ask Dea initially to do it with me was because I knew how busy he is. He just got a new job, so yay to him. He's
Oh,
starting his new job at Facebook at a VR. He was
wow.
getting tossed
That's
between
exciting.
Facebook and Blizzard. So he was in a good position. Um and so yeah, and I know how busy he is, and he also like the reason I was the happiest of boys when you said you were interested in doing this was
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that um where's the thingy? You do content creation. You understand the grind of it, I guess, right? So you understand like how often you gotta be there every day. You gotta be doing, yeah, you get it. You get it. So, and that's hard to find. Um, but long story short, I'm thinking maybe we shovel this away for a little while because that was I was gonna say is I love doing this. I actually, I love doing this, especially with you. This is I love hanging out with you. I love talking movies and just nerd culture with you. Um, but both you and I are just insanely busy, and I hate. I'm sure you feel the same way as you hate missing weeks and stuff like that of doing this. So I'm thinking of shuffling this away for a little while until a better time, and we go back to the drawing board a little bit and kind of because I think we started something that was good ideas and decent concept, but not fully fledged, right? We kind of just we're figuring out as we go. So I say we take it back again and just rework it and figure out something that maybe works better for all parties involved.
Yeah, because it will get busier, irritatingly.
Yep. That's what I'm worried is I know this is just the start with Halo on the horizon for myself.
I was gonna
Um
say you've got Halo coming. I've got events coming back. Torben and I were like talking earlier today about stuff, and I'm just like, that's exciting. There's
mhm.
lots of stuff to do. But yeah.
Right. Right, and again, that was the biggest thing is like, especially to begin with this. Obviously, the dream is anything you work on eventually becomes something that you actually work on,
Hmm.
as in you make money at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't. The last thing I want it to be is a burden on either of us. So, and that's how I'm starting to feel with it. Is just like even even some of this is just like, we gotta do another episode. Oh no! And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm watching. I watch content, but I'm like,
yeah, you're like,
shit.
oh my god, I have to look up all these facts and
Yeah.
put the whole thing together.
Well, good example is I was up till I got home at 8 a.m. today, which was early for that note.
Yeah.
And I had to still do the outline for today. So I was up till 10 a.m. doing it, and that does not help my sleep schedule at all. Which is fine. I don't mind messing up my sleep schedule. I just go to bed after I'm done with this. So
I have an idea.
Okay.
How many TikTok followers do you have?
Not many. Why?
Damn it!
Why?
Wait, because you can go live with someone else on TikTok. So, like, you can do a TikTok live and have someone else come and join you, and you're both, like, live on TikTok together.
Okay.
So, I've been doing TikTok lives, and I've just been, like, scrolling through gaming news.
Oh, okay.
And just, like, reading, and then if someone mentions a specific game in chat, like, going off on a tangent about that. So, basically just an extended just chatting segment. I gotta say, that would be kind of fun to do, to just have us, like, sit there and scroll through and just, like, talk about whatever's going on in the gaming world. And just sit there and talk about it. And if someone in chat's, like, talking about Fortnite or whatever, and we go and look at Fortnite season whatever, and we're like, why the fuck are there murderous unicorns in this season? Like, that could be fun. I don't know if you need 1,000 followers to join mine, or if I just need to invite you.
I'll have to look into that. I mean, I've been wanting to do more TikToks in general, and I mean, immediately, I don't even care where it is. I'll just say yes, I'm down. I'm always down. I'm always down to do more stuff with you. So. Always down to do more stuff. But yeah, no, as I said, I'm thinking we do one more episode potentially next week. I had an idea as our kind of send off until then we put the podcast away indefinitely until, I don't want to put it away forever. As I said, I really enjoy doing this, and I think it's a good concept. I think we have a good set, and I think we just have to workshop it to make more sense and be a little bit more. I want it unstructured but structured, right? You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, just have a better concept of what the hell we're trying to accomplish here. So, and I think once we figure that out and we get to a point in our lives that maybe it's more stable to actually have the opportunity to do it, then yeah, I say that's it. But the TikTok thing, I'm down, because that's something we can do. I mean, that's something that can go for 10 minutes to 6 hours. Who cares? Oh, did they just release the trailer for the new Dexter? Oh,
I still have to watch the new Lucifer episodes.
Me too. I still haven't done that either. I've been so hesitant on it.
I was watching the Witcher anime this morning because I still hadn't had a chance to watch it, and I'm just like.
Oh, you watched the
I watched it this morning.
Yeah, I watched it last night. I watched it last night while I was working.
After I texted you, right?
Yep. I was tossing back and forth on whether we were gonna like miss another week or anything. So that's why I was like, yeah, it's not working into our schedules right now, I think is the biggest thing. So but yeah, we'll talk more about the TikTok live stuff. I'm totally down for that. If I can make that work. I got to get followers.
I had one TikTok absolutely pop off, and I got like 900 followers from it. So
it's huge.
I was like, hey, go live on TikTok now.
The only ways, YouTube and TikTok are the best ways to grow a channel right now. It really is. Yes.
I mean, Twitter and Instagram, certain as hell, are not growing. Instagram is so frustrating to exist on.
In what way?
So Instagram right now is prioritizing video content. They really want Reels and IGTVs and they limit the reach on pictures significantly, and they push Reels really aggressively, and so if you post static pictures, you'll notice like the reach is really bad. So on my Reels, I can get, if it's a good one, I'll get 2,000 or 3,000 views within an hour. On my pictures, I will get like a 70% like to view rate, like a 70% engagement rate, which is wild. And it'll still only show the picture to 300 people for like 12 hours. And I'm just like, fuck you, platform.
That's
And
exactly I don't understand why, like, TikTok right now actually has really good systems for that. Like,
yes.
For displaying your content and stuff. They're the only ones that are currently kind of nailing discoverability. Everywhere else is just garbo tier.
Yeah.
They all rely on such arbitrary, dumb things for you to catch virality in it. So.
Yeah. So my like base TikTok views are probably about 300. And then on a good video, I'll get
Test 1 2 test
like,
1 2. All right, sorry. I'm starting recording audio. You never know when we're gonna officially start. So.
Yeah, but like I had one that got 10,000 views. I had one that's got 73,000.
Damn.
And then like one I posted a couple of days ago, sitting at 4,500, and then one I posted yesterday is at like 1,600. So TikTok is definitely.
Yeah, TikTok
better for
TikTok
me.
is a place, man. I gotta figure out, like, for me, I've been trying to figure out.
Oh no! Sick of being
the one thing I don't. All right, TikTok, TikTok. What was I saying? Do you know what I was saying?
I think you were trying to figure out the niche you want to be in on TikTok.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going for. There you go. You said it for me.
Guess who's getting sued?
Oh, there you are.
So I just sent you the TikTok I posted earlier today. The sound is required, and I love it. I love it. I'm so happy with it. I've been wanting to use that sound for forever.
By the way, how do you film your TikToks and stuff?
I hook my phone using my pop socket onto the front of my monitor.
So you just record on your phone?
Oh, yeah. In-app.
Really? Okay. I wish I was good like that.
I mean, look. Okay, just watch what I just sent you. And it's not high quality. It's just funny.
Oh, shoot. I think it... Oh, I'm so... Hi, I'm back. I was just so mad at you for... I got nothing. All right. That's as far as I'm taking that joke. All right, this one is the one I'm doing. You're gonna, hey, stream, you're gonna... Okay, hold on. Whoa. What are you doing? Well, the start coming and they don't stop 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 coming and they don't and they don't stop coming. Start coming and they don't stop. News been good recently in that department.
No. Well, that was my like TikTok. Yeah, I tried to do Splitgate TikTok yesterday.
Okay.
I was like, I'll do Splitgate. And then like 2 hours after I did all the research and went and watched interviews and like figured all this stuff out, which also my camera was dirty when I recorded it, so the whole TikTok's just like blurry looking. And then like 2 hours later, the SEC investigation into Blizzard was revealed, and I was like, guess I'm making another one. And then today, the executive producer for Overwatch 2 and all of Overwatch League and everything is leaving Blizzard, And I wasn't going to make a TikTok today because I did 2 yesterday, and you're not supposed to spam it too much. So I was like letting them breathe. And then I was like, I cannot resist. I finally get to use this sound. This sound is one of my favorite sounds, and I've needed a reason for it. Now I have a reason, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm like sending it to everybody.
Yeah.
I posted it on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm just like, I love it! Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's not high quality. That's straight up, I just like stick it on top of my monitor.
Right. Well, how are you getting the actual monitor stuff, I guess? Or the
screenshot, and then it's the green screen effect.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. I got a green screen. That makes it easy for me. Well, that's why I was like, I have not recorded a single TikTok ever on my phone. Anyone that I've created has always just been using actual cameras and stuff like that, or my webcams and stuff, not actual cameras. No good cameras, I should say. But like, yeah, I just do that because it seems harder. I don't know how anytime you just record at one go, that seems very annoying to me and scary.
But it's so much faster. Like when I was traveling last week, I posted a couple of TikToks and I straight up just did them in the car in like 15 minutes. Like went around, did all the research, took all the screenshots, then do a little bit of editing. Because when you put an image behind you, it centers the image. Right. So if you don't make it the aspect ratio of a TikTok video, it'll center it. And then like there's a lot of wasted space there and you have to like duck down really low. And so then I like pop that into a image editing app that I have to just make everything TikTok sized. So that my face can go at the bottom and the image is at the top. And then I just sit there and I record. And then I go through and I trim the clips. And then I post it. And it takes, anywhere from today's TikTok took me like 3 minutes because I had all the screenshots from past TikToks already. I just had a couple more, and then it was super easy because when you use the sounds and do in-app recording, it's super easy to do stuff like that because there's like timers and everything, so you don't even have to trim the clips because it'll count you down. And for that one, I just like would randomly dance. And so at whatever point the timer counted down and it started recording, I would be in the middle of dancing. And I was like, I didn't have to think about this. It just works. So there'd be like no awkward, I need to start doing something moments.
Sure.
So it was good. I did see something that I don't know if it's true anymore, but it was like a year ago or so. Things recorded in app, they're more likely to push and promote and stuff.
Really? Crap.
I doubt that's true anymore.
Okay.
I doubt it's true anymore because like the Renaissance painting trend, when people would like use the blue line to paint themselves into Renaissance paintings.
Right.
That you couldn't do in app. Like that was outside editing and all kinds of stuff. So
of course.
I think there's so many trends that you can't do in app anymore. So I'd imagine it's not a thing, but I do it all in there because it's easier.
Yeah, simplicity is the name of the game, I think, sometimes. So
yeah. Well, and also too high quality, and people. TikTok is valuable because of the even more level of parasocial relationships that it develops. Like it's worse. It's worse than streaming. It's worse than normal social media for developing parasocial relationships.
Right.
Which is what makes it even more addicting and more engaging. So if you make it too corporate, then like people can't connect with you. Right. My videos that do better are the ones that I'm more of a mess and snarkier. Like if I'm just like newscaster presentation, it's kind of like whatever. But my Tripwire video is the one that blew up. And I was just like, but wait, and I just like was being super ridiculous. So and it's definitely more successful.
Yeah, well, I think it is. It's just that byproduct of that shorter form content. People like high energy, quick to the point, and just do it, and that's it, right? You say a thing, you be a little bit crazy, and people are like, "Yes, I vibe with that. I vibe with that universe."
And it works for me because I don't have, a ton of time. And so my new schedule is I'm trying to go to bed a little earlier. It's not always succeeding, but I'm trying.
Okay.
And then wake up and go exercise, have breakfast, make a TikTok, do a TikTok live, and then start working for the day. And then exercise again and stream.
So are you doing a TikTok every day?
Not every day, but most days.
I gotta get in on this. I gotta get it on the recording in app, I guess, because
It's so much
it
faster.
just seems whenever I make one, I mean I do like an hour of editing and stuff like that, and it's just, I mean I do edit. Ugh. I don't know. It might just be me. I don't know what it be, how it be, what it do, but I just always. It takes me a while to record that stuff and then output it successfully. So I think recording an app would make it so much easier.
Yes, it is just faster. Like I am for sub 15 minutes, and my TikToks are like 2.5 to 3 minutes long. They're very like educational and informative. Well, they're not educational. They're informative about things. I tried a whole bunch of like streaming and Twitch things. Not any kind of like if I had developed an audience already that was interested in streaming tips, it probably would have worked.
Right.
But it's so hard to like reach that kind of viewer that I was like, nope. And so then I switched over to generic gaming news.
And that seems
and
to be
there's
working.
always something.
Yeah.
Like every single day there's something. And even if there isn't great gaming news, like, I mean, at this point, Blizzard's going to be sued by some new agency every single day for like the next 6 months. So I don't think that information's going to dry up anytime soon. But I can always do like game releases because there's always a million different, and not every TikTok has to be wild and crazy, like successful. If I can my goal is to put out 5 a week and to have 300 to 1,000 views on all of them.
Okay.
And so basically to have at least one video get over 1,000, and hopefully one video get over 3,000 to 5,000. And then the other ones where they're lower value or less interesting news or whatever, if I can just get like 300 views. And then every once in a while, hope that something goes wildly viral and you get another 1,000 to 2,000 follower boost.
And you get 73,000.
That would be the goal. So it's just nice to see actual growth.
Right.
Because
it's hard. I think that's one of the reasons it's good to be doing TikTok right now. And that growth translates. They've shown that like people who watch TikToks, a lot of times if you're a streamer and stuff, they do come over to your stream and YouTube and stuff like that. So
yeah. We'll see. Because like on Instagram, I've had 0 growth for 2 years.
Ugh.
I've been at the exact same for 2 years.
Right.
And that's fine. Because like, I don't measure my value by my number of followers. Like I don't care about that at a personal level.
Right.
But on
you
an
want
industry,
growth. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, on an industry and professional level, the more numbers you have, the more power you have. Like resumes and demo reels don't mean shit in this world. That little number that you can claim next to a clock or a blue bird is far more powerful than literally anything else. Yep. And that's irritating.
Yep. Yeah. No, and I totally agree. I vibe with that. I know what you're saying. Because that's social media is all powered by numbers. So, and especially this industry, it's all powered by numbers. You want access to things early. You want all that. You gotta have a little thing that has a big lot of digits on it. That's it. So, it's such a shame at the same time, but I get it. You know, places aren't looking for good people or even interesting people. They're looking for eyeballs. So
yeah, pretty much. And well, it's also the larger numbers you have that is extrapolated as, oh, you must be successful, you must know what you're doing, you must understand, and that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, more likely to actually have a say in stuff. So
like, I still don't think about it too much, but I'm also having fun on TikTok because I like doing newscaster content and I like doing general gaming news content. and I have no outlet for it right now. And so it is a nice platform where I get to do that. And it's not a platform I'm established as a Dota person in, so I don't feel like I'm overloading Dota people with stuff they don't care about. Like, it's hard for me to do it on Twitter because I'm just like, 80% of you
Dota.
don't give a flying fuck.
Right. Right.
And then I feel bad. So TikTok's nice because I don't have to feel bad.
That's the way it should be. I mean, yeah, it's what you should do. Again, I'm still living off of I'm still trying to get out of I'm just a Halo speedrunner. That's what people know me for. Problem is I also introduced myself as that, so that doesn't help. But that's because I got nothing else right now. So it's hard to break out of that stuff.
Mike, what did you send me?
Who's sending what?
I don't know. My wishlist notified me that presents are on the way.
Ooh.
And I know who it is because I see you in chat.
Fun. Oh, I guess we should get into this in a second here.
Yes.
Did I have any other things I wanted to talk about? So yeah, I'm thinking next week, I guess to say, is next week might be the last one for a while, a long while. Who knows how many long whiles. But I'm thinking maybe we do like a recap episode, and not just specifically the episodes, unless we want to go that route. But I'm saying just like do a summer recap almost.
Oh, of like our favorite things from the summer?
Yeah, just anything that we watch, whether we actually talked about on the podcast or not, and just kind of have more of a free form. We just get to chat about gaming and shows and movies that we were into. So
yeah, I mean, the last 30 minutes of just talking about social media was a pretty good chat. So
yeah, exactly, and that's
we can
I'm
probably
thinking
roll
that
with that successfully.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Cool. That's what I'm thinking we do for the next episode, and maybe we'll see where it goes from there. So, we'll talk about it when we get in the show. All right, we're gonna start this episode off, make it happen, and then we're gonna do the thing. And that's the introduction. We did it. Congratulations, Ness. The podcast has started. Let's ask the question of the week, or weeks in this instance. Prequels. How do you feel about them?
I like prequels because you get invested in something and you have so many questions about how they got there. And prequels, like, they just expand on the universe without, here's the key part, without being a disappointing sequel. It doesn't put any of your favorite characters at risk.
Yeah, because they have to follow certain guidelines, because they can't create an instance where a character ends up different than what they are in the next thing, which is the original, right? They have to create the story that led the character to our initial introduction. So they have to follow guidelines. Unlike sequels that are just like, we'll just do whatever we want. I don't know. What was Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife and a little bit of Falcon and the Winter Soldier are two good examples of, let's take characters and let's just get rid of the entire stuff that we knew about them before. Let's just ignore all their past and just create a new character or a new way that they're going to act, and it'll make sense. And it's like, no, it doesn't make sense. Thanks, though. Appreciate it.
You tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
But going from there, hello and welcome to Positively Reviewed.
Woo!
We're back after a 2 to 3 week break again. We'll talk about that a little bit this week, but we'll get into it. But we're talking. We'll say right at the top, we're talking about the Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. If you don't know what it is, it's a Netflix show. We'll mention that as soon as well. But what do we do here, Nessa? What are the things? I'm on 3 hours of sleep. How you doing, Nessa? How are you? How's life? How was
I have a little
golf
more
last
sleep
week?
than that. Yeah. No, I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
Got outside a lot. Got a lot of sun.
Typically, when you
I've got a.
when you do golf, it's
Mhm.
outside. I haven't
Yeah,
seen many indoor
sometimes.
golfing, but
Hey, you never know. Things could change. Can you imagine, like, golfing in a cavern system?
that would be I would be total fan of that.
Doesn't
Lots
that
of
sound cool?
dangerous ricochet potential. You could line up some really cool shots. Oh my god,
Hmm.
I want to make this as like not a oof. I don't know how you would do it as like a full-fledged. There's got to be caves in the world that are big enough, right,
Yeah, I'm
to
sure
do
there's
golfing,
extensive cavern
but
systems.
you would I the size of golf courses are very large typically. So I
I
don't know,
am
would you do
so
like an
painfully aware of
interconnected,
that.
is it one giant tunnel that you're in, or one giant, not tunnel, it's a cave at this point. One giant cave that you're into, or is it like tunnels, like a tunnel system that you have to play through, and maybe you go in between different tunnels, or you have to like you
Like
have
a
to
whole
exit and
cavern
go to a
system.
different cave to go to another hole? Is that how that works?
You'd have like a whole cavern system, right? And so, you play and then you walk a little bit, and maybe you have to go through like slightly a narrow spot to get to the next thing, and you travel around. And maybe there's little mine carts that you get in. And can we build this in Minecraft?
Yeah. And that should be a good way for us to just start playing Minecraft together. I'm down.
I love Minecraft,
I
so
have,
no
I'll be
complaints from
honest,
me.
I have been itching to get back into it. I don't know why, but just the last like 6 months, and I haven't really. I have a few guys that I played with a few times, but I really want to get back into Minecraft for, I don't know why. I have no reason, but I do. So we'll make a golf course inside of a cave. I'm
Yes.
totally into it. I'm
Cave
sure
system,
I'm
golf
sure
course,
there's
Minecraft project.
golfing mods in Minecraft.
Problem. Oh,
So,
there yeah. All right. Well, anyway, this is not a podcast about Minecraft golfing. It could be, though. But this is the Positively Reviewed podcast, where we pick a type of media, video game, movie, TV show, etc., sometimes even concerts or new albums, and talk about all the stuff that we liked. We give you all kinds of fun facts, and we spoil the heck out of it. So there will be
lately,
spoilers.
I don't know, we don't I feel we're pretty good. I've
It
noticed.
depends
Okay.
on the episode.
That's true.
So it's better to start with a heavy warning, just in case.
Right.
Just in case. Like you said, we talk about all the things that we loved. So it's not necessarily the most fair and balanced assessment, but it's a fun, positive, high energy way to hang out and enjoy different nerdy, fun stuff that we love. Every single week, it is the greatest piece of media ever created, in case you were wondering. So this week, The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf is going to be the greatest piece of media ever. If you'd like to listen to this podcast on another platform, we stream it live on our Twitch channels. But most importantly, because live is, hard to get to, Positively Reviewed podcast on podcast platforms and on YouTube, and then on social media sites. Pos Reviewed Pod, POS Reviewed POD is where you're going to find us and know when new episodes air.
And that's the podcast. Well done. We did it. But like Nessa said, we're talking about Witcher. We're just going to hop into this. We're talking about Witcher. Not, yes, The Witcher, but not The Witcher. Right?
Yeah.
We're talking about Witcher, the Nightmare of the Wolf, and it is the greatest piece of content ever created. It is currently on Netflix. If you have not seen it, it came out less than a month ago, I think.
Yeah, it's new.
And it was created by our wondrous friends over at Studio Mirror. Do we have friends at Studio Mirror? No, but I want to, so we're just going to say that they're friends, and maybe it'll magically become true. That studio is amazing. If you don't know what they are an animation studio. It's animated, I guess. I didn't mention that. This is an animated Witcher that is a prequel. And we'll get to that when we get to the meaty meat about what it's really about. But it ain't about Geralt, man, I'm not going to even bother with names today. I'm good with it all. So, but Studio Mir, they're known for creating things like Dota's Dragon's Blood, the one thing that we talked about on this podcast before. Or I think the main one that most people know him for is Legend of Korra. So,
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of the people from there came from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and stuff like that. So, and they made this, and man, I will say the animation was gorgeous. They had some really awesome sequences that was really cool to see in their style of animation. So some of the camera movements and stuff they did was awesome. So
Yeah, it was good. I didn't realize it was Studio Mir. And as I was watching it, I thought, this reminds me so much of Dragon's Blood. Watch it be the same studio. Like, that was the exact thought that I had. I got the exact same vibes from watching it that I did Dragon's Blood. I had the same experience, like it was the whole thing, and I was just like, it can't be the same studio, like that wouldn't happen, and then it did happen.
yeah, it was, well, that's because they're good at what they do, and they do have a vibe. I will say, honestly, you could shove this in the Dota universe, I don't think you would be able to tell the difference. You'd be like, yeah, that's a part of the Dota storylines. I vibe with that. I'm fine with that.
Like, this was just another, like, do you remember the Dragon Knights, like the Dragon Hunters, and how they're trained and they're fighting monsters, and now you have Witchers and how they're trained and fighting monsters. Like, it was, yes, like, it was really, it was a lot there.
You'll like when we get to the voice actors, because I picked up on it while watching it. I don't think you did, now that you didn't realize that there might have been a connection there. Before.
No, I'm assuming that, why can't I remember his name? But the main guy,
Vesemir?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's also Dragon Knight.
No, but
it's
you
might
recognize. No, you might recognize him from some other stuff. So
I'll
just tell you, it's Theo James. Theo James, okay. Who I actually originally know him from a TV show called Golden Boy, which was a cop show with Kevin Alejandro. Who actually somebody just sent me. He's on a new show with the
Over. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I scrolled ahead. I looked ahead. I'm not supposed to look ahead.
Oh, you looked ahead. No.
I wanted to see if it was your Lowenthal. It wasn't.
No,
it's fine. I scrolled back.
Theo James is Vesemir, but yeah. Oh, Haley Steinfeld. That's who. It's Haley Steinfeld and Ella Purnell. So, and they're Kevin Alejandro is on a show called Arcane coming out. No idea what that is. Oh, it's a League of Legends animated series. Anyways, so Theo James played in the same show with Kevin Alejandro, which I guess he's in a League of Legends one coming out called Golden Boy. But most people probably know him from the show Divergent. He was the dude in the Divergent series, movie series, not TV series. So he's a handsome dude. But that's it. But we'll get into it. You'll notice one or two things, because you might recognize somebody who might have also been in the Dota's Dragon's Blood series. So, But we wait for that. That's the teaser. Stick around until you could just look it up, and then you'd be like, okay, I figured out the information. Bye. But you could hang out and find that out once we get to the meaty meat. So, what kind of experience do you have with The Witcher? So this is, I'm pretty sure you watched the live action series.
Yes, I did.
Because everyone likes to see the hunk that is Henry Cavill act on screen. But do you have much experience with the games?
I played through The Witcher 3, not the DLCs, but I did the main. I did beat the game.
Oh, okay. I think I'm one of the few people who, I'll be honest, I have zero experience with the Witcher series as a video game franchise. I think you ever have that where having no experience with something maybe makes you enjoy it more? I get that feeling with a lot of these, pretty much any series that is connected to video games or other kind of stories. If you don't have any connection to it, you just tend to enjoy it more, right? I think Resident
Yeah, because
Evil.
you don't have expectations.
Yeah, Resident Evil is a good example. I never played any of the Resident Evil games. I love the Resident Evil movies. They're garbage tier, but I love them. And I know there's very little connection between, but I think it's the same thing with something like this. Is I'm sure that there are people who are upset with the portrayal of Vesemir in this, and I know people are upset about the portrayal of Geralt in the live action series, and it's because they have their own preconceived notions from the video game series. So I don't, and I'm just like, it's great. I don't care. I'm just happy seeing some video game adaptations being successful. That's the thing I'm happy about. So
I do enjoy seeing that. The more media that gets like cross-pollinated and then is successful, that just means that
we get
even so
more.
for you, you're not a super Witcher fan, right?
Right. And
'Cause you're
people
like,
are,
wow,
let me
Witcher.
tell you, if you don't know the Witcher series, it is not a small series. People know about this series. So
Yeah, no, Witcher is like super popular, and the live action was incredible.
broke all kinds of records for
And-
Netflix.
Yeah, so like it was great, and I think we're getting the next one in December. So, we can be excited and wait for that. But maybe we'll get something Halo related, right? With Halo Infinite coming out, and
Well, I mean, we
showrunners-
already do. We have a Halo TV
Yeah.
show on I've already forgotten where it is. I don't know. We'll see. That stuff worries me. They tried to do a Halo TV show 10 years ago with Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott is the producer, and that just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. And that's exactly what's Paramount Plus. There we go. Thank you. We'll see. I don't think we have any real concept of what that is and what's happening in that series, and that scares a lot of us, I think. And I'm hesitantly optimistic of like, I don't know what it is, so I'm down for it, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was a good example of the Pitch Black remake that they did. So, which was Halo Nightfall. They had a live action Halo. They've had like 2 big live action films. And the second one with oh god, dude, names are just evade. When you're on 3 hours of sleep, names just evade you. So, but yeah, they had Halo Nightfall, which was the introduction of Spartan Locke. And it was just a Pitch Black. It was just the first Chronicles of Riddick movie. It was just a remake of that, pretty much. It followed the exact storyline of Pitch Black, and I was like, I'm okay with this. I don't have a problem. A lot of people hated it. I'm like, I like Pitch Black, so I'm down for this.
Yeah.
This is just Pitch Black, but Halo. Okay. But yeah, I don't
Alright.
really have any experience, so that's my big takeaway. And I
It's
think it's one of the
weird that I
reasons
have more.
I thoroughly enjoyed this spoiler. I enjoyed this movie. So
Interesting. All right, well, before we dive into that, do we want to do our news for thought?
news.
Stuff
I
that's
guess
going
the
on?
only things to share is last week we were supposed to do a PAX centric episode was the initial plan. That fell through. I didn't even run into Torben, by the way. So we had a good friend who, not many people, PAX was definitely sad. It was a very sad
Would have been
showing.
challenging to do a positively reviewed podcast on PAX.
Yeah. No, I mean, not necessarily. I think it was sad in the sense of like, what it was from all of the years. I could pull up a picture of what it was this year versus all other years, and you're like, wow, that is sad to look at. But the vibe and the energy was still all there, I think. Little lower key, but walking in there, regardless of the much smaller booths and much toned down space that was used, I still had a giant smile on my face just walking in there, just being excited to be back into conventions and stuff like that. So I loved it. But yeah, I didn't even run into, we have a mutual friend who was going to be at the event, and I didn't even run into them at all while there. Didn't even really connect, so didn't get a chance to invite them to come do the podcast, really. And then I had like 3 other people. Like Dea I went with Dea a few days, and that didn't work out. So point is, we kind of the plans for that fell through all last week, and it was good. I was scrambling to try and make it work, and it didn't work out. So, but it was fun. PAX was good. I'm excited for gaming conventions to come back. If things, we'll see. At this point, it's still a question if next year is even going to have any. So,
We can hope.
yeah, we can hope. So there's that. Any new games and stuff that are coming out? I mean, there's new Halo stuff this next weekend. We got Halo Infinite, another Halo Infinite player test. Back for Blood is my big thing. We got Spooktober coming up, which I play a lot of horror games, but specifically we have Back for Blood, which is the Left 4 Dead remake that is coming out October 8th, and I am so excited for that. I played the beta a stupid amount. People are like, why are you playing this? None of your progress is going to transfer over. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I have 50 hours in this game already in the beta. Okay? I love Left 4 Dead to death, and I think I enjoy it more than ever. And there's been a lot of these like firefight / just like fight hordes of enemies games that are coming out all of a sudden. They had the Aliens Fire Team, what do they call it? Fire Team Alpha, Raven? I don't remember what it was called. But, yeah, I don't remember what it was called at all. But they just had, it's a different version of that. And they've been having a lot of these kind of firefighty, just hordes of enemies kind of games coming out. I'm a fan. I like the genre. So that's my games. I got movies, but let's hit up Nessa. What do you got for me?
Untitled Spirits came out today, and it's on the Epic Game Store, which doesn't have PS5 controller support exactly on it, and so I'm not 100% sure if it'll even work if I go to play it. But I haven't tried it yet because I don't want to play it on Bluetooth off my Xbox controller because the lag would be miserable. But anyway, Untitled Spirits is made by a studio that did like a fan film of Majora's Mask, and this is their first game. It's called Ember Labs, and it's beautiful. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. It's kind of old school Zelda-esque gameplay, where there's a mixture of like combat, puzzle solving, and like following. You have these little creatures that like follow you around and help you out, kind of like a stupid little fairy. And there's like finding things and returning them to people and completing all these little quest lines and stuff. And it just looks really, really fun and very satisfying. And it's got decent reviews. I think a lot of the reviews are that it's a little simple, or it's not, quite as fleshed out as it could be, but it is the studio's first game, so that's good. Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And
ooh. I'm like,
I want to support the development team, but like Blizzard is just nonstop. So many things happening, and I'm just kind of like,
yeah, that's kind of a lot of news. A lot of game studios be getting slapped around right now. So,
oh my gosh, like it's funny. It's like I open up Twitter and there's a new thing every single day about Activision Blizzard, like something new, and I'm just like, can I keep? Because I do news coverage of it, and I'm like, can I keep dunking on them with news coverage and then turn around and play the game? Like, can I do that?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you can, because ultimately, like, the lawsuits are going to hurt the company. Boycotting the games aren't going to make much of a difference. No. Also, ultimately, so some things are made in-house by Blizzard. Some things are outsourced. So the Diablo 2 Resurrected, Blizzard is acting as a publisher, but they're not the developer. It's not an in-house development team. And typically in those relationships, the development team gets bonuses based on how well the game does, review scores, and how many people buy it and everything. So if you boycott Diablo 2 Resurrected, you're hurting individual developers much more than you're actually hurting Blizzard, because Blizzard is just publishing it. So it's different.
Right. Yeah. That's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people don't separate the development team and the publishers from the games, right? Is I think a pretty common practice. So, or people don't even realize the difference there. So
yeah. So I mean, I played in the technical alpha and it was glorious. and I love that game so much. And it's an exact replication. There we go. It's an exact replication of the playing experience that I had when I was 10, and then with just some like quality of life adjustments to it. So I also hope that it's not like Warcraft 3 Reforged when everybody hated it. I hope that people just love it for what it is, and that it does get positive everything, because the technical alpha was wonderful.
Yeah, you played a whole bunch of that, and I need to check it out, because Diablo is another one of those series that I have pretty much zero experience in, and I'm very surprised by that in myself. I think I just didn't realize what it was, because when I initially saw the first trailer for the Diablo 2 Resurrected, I was like, that's Gauntlet! They're coming out with a new Gauntlet game! Yay! And I love Gauntlet. I love the Gauntlet series, so I was like, yo, I'm a fan of this, and they're like, Diablo 2? I was like, wait, is this what Diablo was all along? How have I not played these games? What's going on right now? So
good.
So I might have to check it out. So we got a plan. We now have Minecraft to play, and we now have Diablo to play. So.
Yep. And then eventually Halo to play.
And eventually Halo. Any movies or shows or stuff in particular you're looking forward to? I'll tell you, there's one big one for me. Real soon.
I mean, I want to watch the new Lucifer episodes.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know what it is. I'm scared to watch Lucifer. There's a few shows. That one and Winona Earp. I'm like a season behind on both of those, because I'm just scared to watch it. I don't know why. The full season's out. I understand the people who are like, I don't want to watch it until the full season is out because I want to binge the season. I get that idea, but they're out. But I think it's one of those that these are the last. I really don't want these Lucifer episodes to suck. I've heard that they don't. They're pretty good, but this is the last season of Lucifer we're ever gonna get. So I think I'm just scared to get into that. So, I
guess that's fair. There's also the new season of The Resident starts this week, I think.
Oh, okay. That's a show I'm not into, but I think it's a show that I will eventually get to. It's on my list of backlog, deep backlog.
Yeah, I mean it's got your Marvel related, actress in there. So, it relates to your Marvel fanboy. So, you can justify spreading out to it.
But we got the big one. Big one. 007!
Wait, what?
The new James Bond! It comes out October 11th. What do you, why? What?
I don't like Daniel Craig.
What?
I do not watch Daniel Craig James Bond movie.
Why?
Because he's not James Bond.
All right, don't start. Okay. I think I heard somebody in the best way explain it is that Daniel Craig is not the best Bond, but he has the best Bond movies. If that makes sense.
Okay, but he's not Bond, so it's not a Bond movie.
Yeah, it is. All right, he's a Bond.
He's not suave. He doesn't have the right hair. He doesn't have the right attitude. He is destroying every single thing that Sean Connery built.
I knew you were gonna go in. I knew you were a Connery fan. Oh, I get that though. I'm fine with that.
I am also a massive Pierce Brosnan.
I was gonna say I was gonna give. I mean, I'm a Brosnan fan myself, but I like the Daniel Craig as the way someone phrased it, because I don't want to fight, because I agree. I think there's Sean Connery and Brosnan are better Bonds, but straight up Casino Royale is probably the best James Bond movie in my opinion, and nothing to do with Daniel Craig. It's just a good movie. That's what I'm saying. That's so they're fantastic in that sense. Is the scale and stuff that they go with, and I mean Skyfall. So that's a lie. Casino Royale is not the best. Skyfall is quite fantastic. But my point is just that the actual Daniel Craig series has been, I think, some of the most well-written and actually intriguing Bonds of the franchise. Because, I mean, again, some of the bonds are all over the place in a lot of ways, in how they are. With some are very campy, some are the level that some of them go are crazy, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. So we're just waiting for the next Bond, I guess. Who's the next one? And from what I hear, it's not going to be Idris Elba, which is the greatest mistake Hollywood has ever made. Well, one of the three, along with not making Nathan Fillion Nathan Drake for the Uncharted series and killing Serenity and Firefly when they did. But yeah, apparently, man, can you believe in 2021 we still get this? You hear about why they're not gonna do Idris Elba as Bond?
No, I did not.
They went with the racist route. They're like, we don't think the world's ready for a black James Bond.
What?
Straight up. That's what the people, the creators for it and who own the intellectual property of the Bond series are like, we don't know if we're really ready to have a black James Bond yet. And I was like, what?
Doesn't make any
this
sense.
is 2021
It's
and we
like,
still have that, man.
It's a British, like, there are countries that are, very homogenous and have a little less diversity in them. So, like, it's still not a good excuse, but, like, there are countries where you could maybe be like, it wouldn't historically make sense based on the country's makeup of this, blah, 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 which is, like, still not an excuse. Like, it's still, like, you can't pull that. Like, Bridgerton did all kinds of stuff that wasn't super historically accurate, but was still really great to see more diversity represented. But the UK, all right, Britain, like, you can't do that. That's not how that works.
Right.
Oh, painful.
So that's why they're not doing Idris Elba. I really hope they go back on that. I hope, I don't know, petitions get signed, people get yelled at, and then they're like, okay, fine, we'll just do Idris Elba. It's fine. Let's just go for it. I think everybody, as far as I know, most people want Idris Elba. I don't know anyone who hasn't said, like, yeah, no, he would not be good for the role. Like, I don't know anyone who said. Although I will say the second thing is that apparently Idris Elba isn't all that interested either. He's not pushing for it. He's not opposed to being. He'd be like, yeah, if they asked me to be Bond, I'd be a fan of it, but he's not pushing for the role necessarily either. So he's kind of indifferent to it. So I don't think that's helping either. But which is crazy. Why would you not want to be James Bond? That's crazy.
I agree. It just seems like a fun role to play. All right, but that's what we have to look forward to. We got Lucifer. You've got James Bond.
Yeah.
Canterbury Spirits, Diablo.
Did we talk about Spider-Man?
Other games.
We talked about Spider-Man in one of our episodes, right? The new Spider-Man trailer. I mean, that was like 3 weeks ago at this point, but
yeah, new Spider-Man and Carnage coming.
Carnage.
Soon.
Yeah, that's happening.
I'm excited for that one.
No.
All right, but Witcher. I'm excited for the facts section.
Facts section.
You didn't know anything about Witchers, so all these facts you looked up were like brand new to you. So I'm curious to see.
Sort of. Sure.
Yeah.
Just read them word for word, and you'll we'll go from there.
Got it. All right. Witcher 3's total revenue is a bit fuzzy, as Joker doesn't want to try that hard at 10 a.m. the day of this recording, and no, he has not gone to bed yet from the previous day. But it made $250 million in the first year, and has in total sold over 50 million copies of the series, with 30 million of that from Wild Hunt. Cyberpunk made $562 million in its first year, and that was a perfect game.
It was a perfect game, no flaws. And yeah,
so Cyberpunk made more money than The Witcher
in the first year. I mean, I think Witcher has made more money now. Obviously,
because it's been 5 years of being like the best game ever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I just wanted to throw the Cyberpunk in there because everyone was like, "Oh man, this is so bad that Cyberpunk flopped," and it's like, nah, it did fine. 562 million in the first year, and that game was a piece of work. I'll be honest, I didn't actually experience that many glitches. I had a few. I had one that really made me upset, that I just was missing an entire quest line. An entire quest line just glitched out for me, And it was one of the big quest lines too, so I just didn't have access to that, and I was like, oh, that really sucks. But it's not integral, I guess, to do, but I did miss out on some stuff, so. But yeah, Cyberpunk did fine, so. 30 million for the Wild Hunt. That's a lot of copies.
Yeah, that is a lot. And when Cyberpunk also benefited from Witcher 3 being wildly popular and everyone being like, what's next from the Witcher 3 studio?
Yeah.
Right.
Wild Hunt, for those who don't know,
back.
I guess is Witcher 3. That's just that was the title, was Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That was the tagline. So, but anyways, continue. Rapid fire. Hit us with it, nice and quick.
Witcher 3 is the 19th best-selling game of all time, besides Skyrim, Call of Duty 4, Diablo 3, and Human Fall Flat. One of those makes absolutely no sense. Can you guess which one? What? Really?
Which one of those do you think doesn't fit?
Why did Human Fall Flat sell so many copies? Is there a mobile version?
And you are wrong! It's Skyrim! Skyrim doesn't fit.
Skyrim makes sense.
How many re-releases of Skyrim have they done at this point? And they've just reached the level of Witcher 3? They're all tied. They've all sold about 30 million copies. So that's why. That's all. They're all tied for 19th, is around that area.
Not sell that many copies.
Dude, I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm with you. Human Fall Flat sold 30 million copies. That's insanity to me. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game.
It is a good game.
You're telling me that game is as popular as Witcher 3? That's insanity.
Yeah.
So,
right.
COD 4 makes sense. Diablo 3 makes total sense. Those came out. Those came out during the Golden Age. So the first Witcher 2, Golden Age. Well, Diablo 3. When did Diablo 3 come out? You might know that better than me.
Diablo 3 came out in the summer of 2012.
2012. Okay, I was gonna say 2012,
May or
right?
June 2012.
But
I know because it came out 2 months before I started playing Dota. I was so excited for Diablo 3 because Diablo 2 has been my favorite game for forever. And I was just over the moon excited about Diablo 3 coming out. And it turned out it was super boring, steaming pile of just misery. And you could just like rush right through the game. And it was way too easy. And the map didn't, it was all wrong. Everything was wrong. It was wrong. It was satisfying. The sound engineering and the combat was fine, but it was wrong. And so I got real burned out on it real fast, and then I got a Diablo 2 beta key, and so that's how I know it came out. Remember.
That's how you got it all. That's how you became what you are today.
Pretty much. So I guess thanks Blizzard for sucking. Yeah. Glad you're still keeping up that trend.
Yeah, they haven't changed much from then. All right. But seriously, how is Skyrim? How many versions of Skyrim has been updated? They've had like 3 remasters and upgrades and stuff like that. 6, 7.
5 or 6. I think
I thought they would have been much higher. I thought they would have been on the level of like GTA 5. GTA 5 is now the second highest selling game of all time, behind Minecraft now.
There are 9 different official ports of the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Jesus, yeah.
So there's 9.
That's how much it took them. Witcher had 1 with the little bit of DLC thrown in.
And yeah, I was gonna say 2 different pretty decently sized DLCs.
Yeah. So they, but that's still crazy to me that it was that's how many times Skyrim has been released, and it just hit that. They've really been pushing that series, man. And that's probably because we're finally getting word of the next Skyrim or the next Elder Scrolls game finally, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's, like 12 years out or something like that. So it's going the same route as GTA, but Tetris, both GTA and Minecraft are the 2 highest selling games of all time, and they beat Tetris. Tetris was number 1 for decades. And that is now, I didn't realize, I knew Minecraft beat it a few years ago. I did not realize GTA had beat it, so.
Didn't realize people bought Tetris.
I mean, that's because it's the Tetris as a series. So, because actually, if you consider Witcher, again, if you consider in that degree, Witcher as a series, it's actually like number 7th. It's higher than
COD
4s and stuff like that, I believe, so.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
All right, well, to continue, Joker already said our next fact, but I'll say it again, just so people hear it. The first Witcher came out in 2007, also known as the golden years of gaming.
Why is it the golden years of gaming, Nessa?
I don't know, because now the people who played games in the 2000s are in their golden years because we're old.
That's not. I mean, the truth behind that is a little too real for me. But no, I always call the pretty much, it's kind of a big gap. I mean, but I pretty much call that 2006-ish. I really say 2007 to 2010 is that golden years of gaming, where pretty much the games that most people have as their favorite game of all time is within that time frame. Most of that. Halo 3 came out that time. Call of Duty 4 came out at that time. The first BioShock, the first Gears of War game came out. Pretty much all the games, all the big IPs that are sequels of other games nowadays, a lot of them started around that time frame. And if they were already around, the most beloved copy of said, or most beloved version of said franchise is in that time frame. Diablo, I think
2001.
2, I don't know.
Diablo
Which one?
2 was 2001.
Or
2000.
Really? Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah,
Witcher, the first Witcher game came out.
The first Witcher.
We had said BioShock. Mass Effect. Mass Effect came out around that time. Just like all Dead Space, I think had one of the Dead Spaces came out during that time as well. Like, just all the most beloved games.
Probably a good.
I could look.
GameCube, like Metroid Prime, and those might be a little older, but not sure.
I can't remember. Did Majora's Mask? No, not Majora's. Sorry, Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
Twilight Princess, which
Princess is not one that people remember. Or
are you kidding? Woo! No.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
People are gonna pick the greatest.
Well, everyone's gonna go Ocarina of Time. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people always go Ocarina of Time, but I'll tell you, Twilight Princess is actually I believe Twilight Princess is. I think before Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild has now usurped it, but I think Twilight Princess is the highest selling Zelda game. So, don't fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is.
But if you have a successful franchise, every subsequent game usually sells more.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's better.
Right. I can't remember which Pokemons came out those years. I think that was
I never played
Black and White, I want to say. Or were those Diamond? Maybe those were Diamond and Pearl. I don't know. All right. Anyways, continue. But those are the days that we all remember.
The second season of the live adaptation with the hunk that is Henry Cavill comes out on December 17th, 2021. Joker is beyond ready to hear Geralt say "fuck" a bunch.
It's my favorite part of the whole series. It's just whenever, I think every time he just said, he's just like "fuck." It's just perfect.
Yeah, I know. It's
so
always
good.
like this gruff, quiet, exasperated. Like,
You're right.
You're right. It is satisfying. I hadn't thought of that, but it is.
It is one of my favorite parts of the first series, because it wasn't like he was just throwing the word around too. He said it quite a lot, but it was always said at the perfect moment. The timing was always perfect.
The big bushy eyebrows really sell it too. You know, it was well done. You know, Witcher's well done. We're looking forward to it. Yeah. There's currently no Witcher 4 officially
nailed it
announced yet. Words are hard. But CD Projekt Red is working on a new game. People assume it's Witcher 4, but the last one they released was Gwent, so don't.
Yeah. They have not officially said. They say they're working on another game, and it's believed that it's in the Witcher franchise. So
supposedly the Witcher games are a standalone trilogy, so if a new game does come out, there's a good chance that it won't be following Geralt anymore. Which, if GTA 6 is a good measure of time, we'll probably all be dead by the time the next one comes out, so no one will remember him anyways. Bitter about GTA much, Joker?
Well, no, I mean, someone came up with a good point about it. GTA 6 is scheduled for 2026, I want to say.
What?
Yeah, 2025 or something. Like, it's years out. And so someone said, like, he's like, huh, at that rate, there'll probably be only like 6 more GTAs in my lifetime. And I was like, oh, that's a weird way to look at it, but yeah. When you think about it, that you're one of the franchises you play the most or something, you're only gonna get 6 more of them before you die. That's a weird concept to think about. And that's where we're at in gaming for a lot of these, which is okay, but you know, GTA 5 came out how many years ago? So it's gonna be like 10 years or something. It's like, yeah, if you're in your 30s or something like that, you're gonna be 90 when like GTA 10 comes out. So weird.
That is very bizarre to think about.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, so for the actual what we're reviewing today, The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf, runtime is 83 minutes, so an hour 23 minutes. There's literally hundreds of other facts about the franchise that Joker could have found, but that's how low he decided to go with this on 3 hours of sleep.
Yep, I was done. So that's what you got. Those are the facts. Oh, wait, we got a deep dive. I totally forgot.
Yeah, there's a deep dive. I don't know this one. All right. So did you know that the whole creating monsters thing is based on real life? It's called the Cobra Effect, named after the case in Delhi where locals started to breed cobras to then kill as the British government offered a bounty for every dead cobra. I'm sure the pigs and chickens in America feel the same way as those dead cobras.
That's slight spoilers, I guess we should have said, but it's a whole concept in yes. Here's the spoiler. Here you go. If you miss it, close your ears now if you haven't watched this. If not and you don't care, yeah, there's a whole thing about how the Witchers have the ability to create monsters, or at least in the past that's what they were doing, is they in order to fight people and just other enemies, they would crossbreed and mutate species together in order to create new ones, and then they create witchers to then kill them. So, to make money, and that was a whole thing. But yeah, it's a real life thing that I read this. This is one of those like facts that I knew about a while ago, but I never even thought about it until I saw it again when I was looking at this. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's the whole thing. It's a good scam, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean it seemed effective. All right, so are we watching things in the shadows, or are we diving right into the meat?
Only thing, I watched Kim's Convenience. You should watch that. That's a Shimu Liu's show. It's very good. I mean, there's been some drama with that and some stuff that I've learned, and he's also getting canceled. But I've given up on caring about people getting canceled. I don't know how you feel about it, but cancel culture, I'm so over it. So I'm at a point now that there is no any actors or celebrities. There is no good celebrities out there anymore. Not a single one. John Krasinski, maybe. Is there any drama about John Krasinski and Emily Blunt? I don't know. Outside of that, I know
Hugh Jackman. Hugh
Jackman's another one. So, but yeah, pretty much at this point, just so many people are getting canceled that we're not looking at anyone to look up to anymore. We're just looking at, hey, who's the least worst out of the bunch? And I just don't care anymore. Not saying that we should ignore all the terrible shit that people and celebrities seem to get into, but regardless, I just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so...
Oh, John Krasinski's a sellout. There we go. Nailed it.
Got it. Listening to metal music, it really goes... Metal and rock really goes 2 different ways.
Right.
And I don't know if you saw it, but the lead singer of Trapped just had a complete meltdown and was the most horrible person in the world, and every single metal band was dunking on him. And so now, like, if I want to listen to Headstrong, I'm kind of like, I don't want to hear this person's voice. But there's a lot of bands... There's a lot of bands with, like, really problematic lead singers. There's all the stuff that happened with Marilyn Manson. Like, there's a lot of stuff. And, I mean, you're right. I still enjoy the music most of the time. It does depend on what it is. Like, the Bad Wolves lead singer, I don't really listen to Bad Wolves now because I'm just like, yeah. But I didn't like them that much to begin with. So that is a hard thing. You're right. You'd have to, like, stop consuming everything. So my approach, my thought is, if someone did something horrible, there should be consequences. It's not necessarily on us as individuals to reinforce those consequences.
Right.
But it is on us to, like, demonstrate how to be better or have positive discourse, or right, like, it's messy and it's sort of hard to navigate, but
I think
I do like the being out there and consequences happening.
I think it should. It's the same way that I
doesn't have the same enforcement on consequences. Like, if you look at Blizzard, right, like, whether or not you buy Diablo 2 Resurrected doesn't make that much of a difference.
No.
It shows solidarity to other people, but on the flip side, all of the lawsuits, those make an actual difference. Those mean they lose a lot of money, the shareholders make things have to change, and, like, that's good. And so if you speak up and amplify that news and are still playing the game, like, people shouldn't come after you for being a horrible person for still playing the game.
Right. I totally agree
with
this.
That can be more of an individual choice thing. But that gets messy because there's some things where I'm like, absolutely not should this ever be supported.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think I personally get hypocritical there, because if it matters enough to me, I won't support it. And then I'll get, like, annoyed at other people supporting it. But I do my best not to express that, because I try and acknowledge, like, that's me being hypocritical.
Everyone is on a spectrum for how much they care or not care about certain things, but the way that everyone looks at everyone else is black and white. You're either for it or you're against it, right? And then they hate you depending on which side you're on. But they themselves are just as hypocritical for exactly what you said. Is like, it depends on what level you care about it. Like, for me, like, mine would be the Assassin's Creed series. I chosen not to support it because I hated the direction that they were going with it, being like, yeah, let's just release an Assassin's Creed game every year. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. And I'm like, your games are garbage because of this. How about we just avoid? Now they're actually doing good because they've gone back and started doing one every few years. So now I'm like, hey, I'm down to support it. And that was me personally. I know it's not doing anything against the franchise. They're selling just fine without me. They don't need my support. Let's be real. So, but I have the same idea. For me, it's my Michael Jackson theory, or not theory, but just like my Michael Jackson mentality is like, he is one of the greatest artists, pop artists especially, ever to grace this earth. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, huge. But I don't disagree that the man had some demons. He had a lot of troubles and a lot of things and mental illness. And that is something that should be talked about, should be mentioned, should be thought about. But it doesn't mean you can't enjoy the work that he did, right? You can't enjoy the amazing created music that he came up with. So, but
yeah, a good way to put it is that we're all on a spectrum, and with ourselves we can see the different shades. But when we look at other people, it's like, you know, this really harsh, yes or no type thing. That's a really great way to put it, because it's true. You do judge other people, like, way more harshly than you judge yourself, because you don't see their thought processes and their caveats and like their background. You can only see your own.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. I mean, the only thing is I brought up Shima Liu because I'd been watching Kim's Convenience, which is a Canadian show, and they ended abruptly. But that's the guy, for those who don't recognize the name, that's the guy who played Shang-Chi. So that's for those who don't recognize the name. But did you watch Shang-Chi yet? All right. Well, you know what? It's only
you have to go to a theater for that one.
It's only Oh, do you? They don't actually have it on the Marvel? Yeah, okay.
Like, I can't just watch it. I have to leave my house to watch it.
And that's exactly. I know Shima Liu is getting canceled a little bit for some old Reddit posts and stuff like that already. He only just got that Marvel fame, and he's already being canceled, so it's great. But I'm thinking about going to go see the movie again this week because I love that movie. I've decided it's my favorite solo Marvel movie film. So I love it. But that's what we watch in the shadows.
Got it. All right, Meet. Talk about Witcher, Nightmare on the Wolf. It's a South Korean American adult animated dark fantasy film for Netflix and is produced by Lauren Schmidt-Hidrich. The film serves as a spin-off of the Netflix series The Witcher. It focuses on the origin story of Geralt's mentor and fellow Witcher, Vesemir. The film premiered on August 23rd, 2021.
That was the first. Yeah, it was the first copy, but that really didn't explain much. So this is the other copy I found.
Escaping from poverty to become a Witcher, Vesemir slays monsters for coin and glory, but when a new menace arises, he must face the demons of his path.
I actually think this is some of the first copies that we've seen that actually explain pretty decently what the show's about.
That's true. So when I watched Dragon's Blood, I had a hard time following it. The story was a little challenging.
What for?
And
Just because of all the kind of back and forth that they did
all
with
of
the
the
characters, the timelines
yeah, all the
and stuff.
shifting, the multiple storylines. It didn't feel like I had enough time with each character. I still really, really loved it, and I thought it was wonderfully done, but it felt like there wasn't enough time with each character, which is interesting because in anime, and this is probably the issue. If that had been live action, it probably would have worked for me. But in anime, you typically get so much time with the characters because it moves slower. And Dragon's Blood did not move slow, and this did not move slow. This covered an absurd amount of content, which was cool. Like, you got all of this. But I struggled to follow it. And this one little copy right here, if I had read that before watching it, like, would have helped bring it all together. And so, like, reading this in retrospect, I'm like, wow, that's a perfect description. That, like, really helps me contextualize a lot of things that I saw.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'll be honest, when I watched this, I had to watch this like half while working. So I only lost my place at one point. You're talking about kind of losing your place. There was one flashback where they were talking about the kids, and then it immediately went to Vesemir as a kid when he was becoming a Witcher, and I was like, wait, are these still the same kids, or is this Vesemir we're watching now? I lost track of that for a second. It was a weird transition.
Is it the poor kids? Is it the Witcher training kids, or is it Vesemir Witcher training kids, and like is Vesemir training to be a Witcher, or is he still? Yeah. The part that I lost was like when he decided to go be a Witcher. Like I somehow missed that. So all of a sudden he went. So the story starts out. Well, this is a heavy spoiler part if you've not picked up on that yet. So Vesemir is poor. He's essentially a slave or like an indentured servant, pretty strongly. And he's not a particularly like useful or high valued one. Like he's a child, and he's kind of like constantly facing this risk of just getting booted. So when he meets a Witcher, he's like, oh my goodness, you make so much money. Like, this looks glorious, because he sees money as freedom, because his entire life is governed by not having any. So that's like a really central part to his character. And so when he decided to go with the Witcher to like be trained and everything, like I missed that part. And then suddenly we were in the future and he was a Witcher and he was flashing back to his training. And I was like, wait, what happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
But even it was good. They did a really good job. Like that's on me.
Oh, I was
distracted.
This
not on like the show itself.
And this one opens with a pretty brutal scene. This was definitely one of those like, ooh, the blood and gore effects that they had were very visually stimulating is the best way to put it. It's just like you were like, whoa, that was okay.
Dragon's Blood was very similar. It started out with strong language and a lot of violence because it wanted to set the tone as being mature. And Witcher has obviously always been mature. So even though it's like a different writer, I assume it's not Ashley Edward Miller again.
No.
Yeah, I did not think so. Usually there's not that many close together things happening. But I assume it's the same thing where it's anime on Netflix, and you need to establish really, really quickly that this is not anime for children, that this is like for adults, and there's a very specific theme to it. And I loved like the little girl asking the dad, like, are we gonna be safe from bandits? And he's like, there's no bandits. And then like a tentacle just like rips through him.
Oh my
god,
like, yeah. You got some tentacle porn at the very beginning of the movie. It was great.
I mean, he didn't lie. It wasn't a bandit.
It's true.
So,
it's a good point.
Which I did enjoy. I giggled like immensely.
But the action.
But also was about to eat, and I was just like, So it was like no people who are watching this. Like, you're one of those people who just like flips on an episode of something while you eat. This is not an eating safe content.
That doesn't affect me at all. That's fine. Yeah, there's good amount. As I said, they had the way that they shot this is very good. And again, it's animation, so there's no real cameras per se. They're all virtual cameras, but some of the transitions and especially the action sequences were really good. Really well done.
I liked it. I mean, it had good dynamics to it and everything, and
Good flow.
I did. You're right. I did really like the voice acting.
Yeah, and it had good flow for an hour.
Great.
I actually thought the progression was good. I'm always down. For me, I'm always down. It's like, you want to make a 4-hour movie? I'm okay with that. I'll sit through a 4-hour movie. You expand on a few things. I like it, but this had good pacing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, voice acting. The you mentioned Theo James was Vesemir, so he was the main guy, which I talked about. Most people know him from Divergent.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the main character.
Yes.
I was talking about that earlier. That's what I was saying.
I know, but I didn't make the connection. You're right. You are right about your assessment of him.
And Underworld, which I'm a big You're a fan of the Underworld series too, right?
Underworld. Oh,
yeah,
like
that's what I thought. I was like, you like this is
like.
This is what I mean. Is you like things like Riddick and Underworld, which I am a humongous. Underworld is one of those series that I watch yearly as well. But you like those, but then you won't watch Resident Evil, and they're so similar. They're so similar.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Vampires are different, all right?
Well,
aliens
different than zombies.
Vampires and aliens are different. They're different.
Sure, but like
zombies could happen, all right? Vampires are not.
Yeah, I know. There was a real chance that was happening with COVID. You never knew. When quarantine first started, you're like,
possible.
There's a chance this is a zombie apocalypse. I mean, none of us are sure yet, but it could. You wait like a month and you're like, all right, I haven't heard anything about zombies. I think we're okay from that. So,
near future post-apocalyptic experiences are far too real.
The fact that you don't believe that Underworld isn't based on a true story is just shows you how uneducated you are about our.
This is a tangent.
Okay.
It's a tangent, but Joker gets lots of tangents, so I need a tangent. So, in Underworld, the lead vampire dude goes easy on Kate Beckinsale because she looks like his daughter from like 3,000 years before.
Right.
And so
you're talking about Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Good old Bill Nye. Not the science guy, the other Bill Nye.
In the Rise of the Lycans, they cast a woman who is identical to Kate Beckinsale, but not her. And it is so confusing.
I don't know. I mean, I like that they did that, but I was like, dude, just use Kate Beckinsale. That's fine.
It's so confusing, but I believe that woman is also in Doomsday and Aeon Flux. I think.
Are you talking the main character of Aeon Flux? Because that would be wrong, but the main character that's Charlize.
Is Beckinsale the main character?
No, Charlize Theron is the main character of Aeon Flux.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah. It takes a second. I that's another one of those movies that's just like I randomly get the urge to watch all of a sudden.
It's just because she's got the black hair in it. So like it's been a long time since I've watched it. Okay. But I believe that Doomsday is also Rona Mitra. And Doomsday is one that you can criticize me for watching and not being consistent about. Because Doomsday is about the Reaper virus, which turns people into uncontrollable other people-eating people. And is terrifying. And for some reason, I love that movie. And so the Reaper virus breaks out in Scotland. And so they wall off all of Scotland for like 20 years. And they just completely quarantine and isolate the whole region to control the Reaper virus so it doesn't break out. And they send in Rona Mitra, who looks just like Kate Beckinsale. And,
they do look very
it's
similar.
Basically a straight up Kate Beckinsale movie. And they probably just didn't want to pay for Kate Beckinsale. And they send her in because they see like sounds behind the wall. And like the Reaper virus is broken out in London. And they're like, we need a cure. And like clearly people survived 20 years later. So there must be a cure. You have to go in and find it. And I love this movie. It's too scary for me, but I love this movie because when she goes into Scotland, like one of the first scenes you see is all of these like metalhead punk covered in tattoos, like just this whole like just angry, scary looking group of people, and they're roasting a human, like they're cooking a human. They're cannibals.
Oh, we saw that in Pirates of the Caribbean.
You expect them to be like listening to angry metal music. But they're in Scotland and they start playing like cheerful Scottish drinking songs while they're like mohawks and tattoos and like roasting a person. And it is just the funniest combo ever. And then like one of my favorite quotes is in that movie and it's at the very end, so I don't want to say it because it's a spoiler, but it's a great movie. It is too scary for me, but I love it. And it's another Kate Beckinsale lookalike, and it confuses the heck out of me so much. Just
There's a few people who look a lot alike. It's a good cast, I think, for the Underworld. For the, what was that, Rise of the Lycans was that third one or whatever? I think that's what it was called. So
yep.
my
My roommate, my best friend of my roommate and I, there was like 3 of us that did everything together freshman year before they started dating, and they got married recently. It's very cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
Got me Rise of the Lycans for my birthday with a note of, your present is not only this, but we also promised to watch it with you. They were not into movies like that at all. And so the present
these are so good, man. Underworld, it's such a good series. It's so good.
Yeah. It was cute.
But we bring up Underworld specifically because Theo James was in Underworld Awakening, or not Awakening, Dark Wars, Blood Wars. Blood Wars is the latest one that didn't come out too long ago. It was a movie for sure.
I don't think I've seen.
Haven't seen it?
That one.
It's fine. Again, the problem is they obviously aren't able to get this. It's been so long, they're not able to get those original actors anymore. So like the story is now just kind of gone all over the place. They've gone the Resident Evil route.
Oh, I did watch this. You're right. It is a movie.
Yeah, it was fine. It was okay. They added a whole Shadow Realm aspect to it now. It was okay. But Laura, the reason why I bring up Underworld is because Laura Pulver, who played Tetra, was also in Underworld Blood Wars. So she was also, I think she was the leader of the snow people. I can't remember. Whatever the hell. Snow vampires. So, but she's also interesting because guess who she plays in Dota? Dragon's Blood.
Oh gosh. You know, I was thinking about it. I assume it's like Celemene or I mean, it's either like Luna. Is it Luna?
No, it's Princess Mirana.
Oh, all right. I knew it was one of the two.
Yeah.
I was like,
so yeah, she is Laura Pulver, who plays Tetra, who is pretty much the same character. I think that's what's hilarious, is this archer sorceress kind of woman in this Witcher is also plays Princess Mirana, which is another Studio Mir production, Dota Dragon's Blood, and she plays the same character, Princess Mirana. So,
hey,
but she also, I think, if you don't know, again, sometimes people don't want to know. They're like, okay, I get the name, but I don't know the face. If you watch the Sherlock, she was also in Robin Hood, the latest one, but Sherlock, the TV show with Benedict Cumberbatch, which is the greatest adaptation of Sherlock, she plays Irene Adler. So she's Irene Adler from that series. So
she was great. All right, and then other notable, Graham McTavish was Deglin.
Which again, notice people will probably know him as he's Hobbit. As I forgot his name. Doesn't matter. Aquaman. He was the king, King Atlan. He was the king of it. He was few episodes of Lucifer. He was he was in the third. He was fourth season. It was after she found out that he's the devil. Spoiler for the fourth season of Lucifer, where she goes to the priest, and the priest tries to convince her to basically kill Lucifer or something like that, purge Lucifer or something. It's that guy. So, but he's also playing in the live action of season 2. He's playing in the next season of The Witcher.
Oh,
so he's gonna play
cool. Oh,
Dijkstra.
Whatever. Dijkstra.
Yeah, what you said. So
I'm here to help. Mary McDonnell was Lady Ilyana Zerbst.
I don't know for those. I'll be honest. I didn't recognize anything that these people played in. So nice to you.
Jennifer Hale was young Ilyana. Tom Canton was Philavandra. And Matt Yang King was Luca. also from Lucifer and lots of different games.
Now, he has a very, like, a huge amount of extensive work in the video game world. He's done, like, voices in... he has, like, additional voices in Dota, so I don't know what that means, but he has a lot of just, like, side, very, like, unaccredited roles and stuff like that. I don't think he's really ever done, like, a main role, but a lot of, like, League of Legends, and you can look it up. He's done a lot of stuff, but, yeah. I don't want to go through it all.
He was in Riverdale a whole bunch. He's in quite a few episodes of Riverdale.
Oh, Riverdale. That's the one I meant to put on there as well. Yeah. You're a fan of that show.
World of Warcraft.
That's the one I was thinking of too.
Nice. Yeah, you're right. This is an impressive list of things that he's in. Cool.
So.
XCOM, Resident Evil, Diablo 3, Mists of Pandaria, Elder Scrolls, Final Fantasy, Uncharted. Yeah, that's quite the list.
Yeah, he's got a whole lot. But let's get. I mean, we're already. We're okay on time. You know, we always talk about the show for only like 10 minutes. So.
Pretty much, yeah. So we're at the 10 minutes where we talk about the show.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll let you go first, but I'll say I enjoyed it. Not knowing much about the Witcher series, I liked it. So.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and it answered one of my biggest questions. One of the things I've always really wondered with The Witcher, especially after watching the TV show, and like playing through the game and stuff. They don't really know how to make new Witchers, and I was always really confused by that. I was like, I don't understand. They made Geralt. Like, why are the Witchers dying out? Why are there less of them? Why are they harder to make? Why don't we know? Like, what's the deal? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And why do people hate Witchers? Like, they kill monsters. Don't you want someone there who kills a monster? Like, why does everyone hate Geralt? What's going... And so I always kind of assumed it was, Geralt's just made a lot of people mad because of some
He's
of
an asshole.
backstory with like slaughtering an entire town and like, you know, like other random stuff. Yeah, and he's an asshole. And so I always just kind of assumed that's what it was. And this was a really cool, if you haven't read the books, and so you're a little out of the loop on what the full story is, I assume if you've read the books, you already know all of these things. But it was a really interesting just context. And the timing of the release is really good, and I'm sure it's intentional with the second season coming out in a couple of months. This is just whetting people's appetite, building up that context, probably expecting people to go back and now watch the first season of The Witcher again to prepare for the second season. And it just puts a lot of pieces in place.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I thought was hilarious is that it is shot and storyboarded identically to the TV show. As in, you don't know what the heck time you're in.
Yeah,
or
half
what
the time.
Jumps and the story connections are. You're just all over the place and you don't know. And I was like, wow, you really hit the nail on the head on consistency there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was... I forgot about that aspect of the Witcher. Is like, yeah, their timeline is all over the place in the TV show. And it was a bit with this one. I mean, this one was a little more because they were only jumping between kind of 2 times more than anything. But yeah, they did exactly. I thought they had, I'll be honest, man, Geralt looks like a bitch compared to Vesemir. The way that, I mean, it's animated, so they can obviously add a lot of flourish to it. But watching the way that he fights versus the live action, you're just like, bro, how does nothing stands a chance against this man? This is insanity, you know? The level of, but that's really just byproduct of that animation more than anything. So.
Yeah, well,
which I enjoy.
Vesemir trains Geralt, so like he should be better, you know? Like,
yeah, it's true, but
he really should be.
I think we got animated. If The Witcher, the regular Witcher series was an animated version, I think we would have probably that a lot more. So
that is what I noticed. So if you play the games, Witchers have all kinds of different spells that they use, and they're really fun. There's a lot of fire. And in the show, those really aren't used nearly extensively. So he uses
Yeah.
the potions and gets the black eyes and everything. Not like punched in the face black eye, like the actual eye.
Yeah, he gets the. I don't know what that does. Once again, I don't have any experience with the series, so I don't.
It
actually
just
really
like makes you just berserk mode.
Yeah, I'm guessing it just allows him like quicker reactions and notice things more and does some kind of weird
you're like
slow time effect
stronger
for
and you
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, you do a bunch more stuff, and especially formulated for
It's
Witchers.
the
and
Bane's formula from the Batman series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the cool thing in the anime was you definitely saw a lot more of those Witcher spells, and I bet they're not called spells because, like, the witches.
That's what they. I think they did use that because they're supposedly that was the thing I didn't know. Witchers are corrupted sorcerers. It was the process of turning them into sorcerers, but then they do something during the process to corrupt them, right? I don't know if that.
But the confusing thing there is that like witches are naturally born and trained or whatever based on the series. So, yeah, it was interesting. I think I need to watch it again. Well, what I'm probably going to do is have like a marathon watching session where I watch like the animated series and then the full
live
Witcher
action.
thing.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
The next day, and I watch the whole second season.
I'll join you for that. I'm in.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I approve. But it was great. Okay, so the action was good. Held up legacy to the world.
Yeah, I again, I don't know how other people. I know I have someone in my chat who's read all the books, and he was saying earlier. I mentioned I was like, people probably hate Geralt, but he apparently both the fans of the show and the books like the live action version. So they're doing a good job
really
writing
well
the
done.
characters, at least in that. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing they do kind of the same in this situation as well. So, and it definitely created a lot more depth too, like you said, the Witcher background of just a lot of people got murdered.
So many. I believe I saw something recently that like Henry Cavill loves the Witcher games.
Yes. Oh yeah. I talk about it all the time.
Them.
Some of my favorite people in as celebrities are people. It's one of the reasons I'm a big Shima Liu fan right now is because it turns out he's a giant nerd too. Is like Vin Diesel and Henry Cavill because they are giant nerds. People don't understand. They are secretly like Vin Diesel. I think I mentioned this during the Fast and the Furious thing. He plays D&D. He has a group of people that he will sometimes play D&D with, and I'm like, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's fantastic. And Henry Cavill's the same way. He is a big gamer. He talks about in his interviews when they were talking to him about the Witcher series about how he feels about playing the character. He's like, I'll be honest, I'm an actor because it pays the bills. If I had a choice, I would do nothing but sit in my home and play video games for the rest of my life. But I like acting because
possible. So.
Yeah, and so he's a huge fan. Witcher is I think his favorite role he's ever gotten. So
good for him. Are you ready to give a rating? Have we nerded out enough?
Yeah, I don't know. What else do we talk about? I guess the monster. I know there's a few. They mentioned that. I guess the Witcher's creating monsters to then slay, or just creating monsters in general. That's a new thing in the universe. That's never been mentioned before. So that's a brand new thing to the universe in general.
But it does explain again why like people super hate and don't trust Witchers.
Yes. Yeah.
So fills that out piece. And it was cool. And it was cool to see all like the mind magic, like all the illusions and messing with everybody's head. That was cool. That
stuff
was
and whatnot. Oh, that whole sequence was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a sequence at the end with some whole dream sequences and so well done.
Also,
that fight scene was amazing.
The way they did the romance was really well done.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
once again, tell us backstory on characters without telling us backstory of just like explaining how Witchers age without actually like they showed us. They didn't just tell us like, oh, they age slowly. No, we actually got to see that, and that was awesome to me.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was cool. It was great. Like overall, I thought it was really good. If anything, I actually liked it a little better than Dragon's Blood. Maybe because it was shorter, so there were like less things to get confused over.
Yeah.
I will say rewatchability on anything I've seen from Studio Mir so far has been really good. It's not Inception level, but it is kind of like you need to rewatch it to understand things, which is good. because it's short. So I really liked it. And I don't know how many children you can raise with the 562 million Cyberpunk copies sold, but
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
I
Oh shoot, I totally missed that. I said we
that's
need a
okay.
new bit anyways. We gotta find something new. We'll do a new one.
But 562 million worth of children from where should we be giving a rating based on? Poland.
Poland.
Polish books. Polish books. So however many children, 562 million raises in Poland. That's my rating.
Did you know that I was
Nightmare of the Wolf.
my one of my old buddies in high school in a past life, he was the king of Poland, and I pushed him off a cliff, and I was the king of Egypt. Not the pharaoh, the king of Egypt. It was our past lives. It's a random story I created when I was a little younger. So, anyways, random thought, but continue.
So the cost of raising a child up to 18 years old in a family with 2 children in Poland is 211,000. I don't know what dollars. I don't know if that's our dollars or their dollars.
Probably their dollars, I'd assume.
I'm gonna assume it's our dollars because that means it's like 5 children per million. So with 562 million, we get 2,800 ish children. So I'll give this a rating of 2,800 Polish children.
2,800 Polish children. Got it.
That's my rating.
I'll give it 19th out of the 19th greatest of all time is my rating.
Got it. Excellent. Lines up with the game.
Yes, nailed it.
All right, so
what else?
Would you rather see more backstories from the existing, right? So like we see Triss and Yennefer in the live action series, but we don't really see like the people that come before them. So do you want to see more Witcher content that is the time before, or would you want to see Ciri after everything has ended and like see Ciri as being like 60 or 70 and the generation after?
I'm down for all of that.
You have to pick one. You want prequels or you want sequels?
I think I'll be honest. I think I want prequels. I think we talked about it earlier. I think it has some. You already have area. You're writing the past without writing what you currently have, right? So you have to follow certain rules so you don't break the canon. And so I like prequels a lot of times. And I mentioned, I didn't mention, but I want to see just more Witchers and stuff. Like seeing Vesemir, because we've always seen Geralt as our main guy that we follow, but now seeing other Witcher, I kind of want to see what all these other Witchers are up to, because there's more than just one legendary Witcher in over the time, right? I would love to see just stories following a bunch of other ones and random kind of small ones here and there. You could have some fun with that. So I want to see all that. So I think prequels in general I think that's what I'd go for.
I would like to see. So in The Witcher 3, your decisions affect the outcome. There's a lot of different outcomes that you can get. I would like to see an animated series that is the next step for all of those outcomes. So each episode is what happens after each of those outcomes.
So each episode is basically the same story, sort of, but it's different decisions that were made prior? Or
so the endings to The Witcher determines what happens with Ciri. Does she die? Right. Does she survive? Does she end up queen? Does she end up going rogue and doing her own thing?
Okay.
So what happens after she dies? Does Geralt lose his mind and go on like a murder spree? Are there major political upheavals in the new rulers that like take the place because she's not there? Like, what happens? And then the next episode, each episode is self-contained based on decisions that were made
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that each one takes place in the same time, but it's just depending on what happened to Siri, quote unquote.
Yes.
It's just like depending. So each one is focused on the same time frame, but it's kind of a what if series of what
Yes.
if this happened instead. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't
I would
think
wanna see
we don't get enough what if series in general. I don't know if you've been
Mm.
watching What If in general. They had the Marvel Zombies episode. Sorry, I'm tangenting, but oh, that was the one episode I've been waiting for forever, and I loved it. But
I've been advised not to watch that episode, so I will be skipping that one.
well, that's because it has zombies in it, but that's fair enough.
Yes.
I get that, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I think more shows should do What If ish series in general. So I'm down for that.
Nice. All right. Well, if you want to know what is happening in the world of this podcast and want to check out other episodes, we've got quite a few out there. Some nostalgia content, some recently released content, etc. All relevant, all still wonderful, amazing, best pieces of media ever to go consume. So if you want to go and listen to the other episodes, positively reviewed podcast, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, etc., all the places that you would go and listen to them, and listen to us ramble and our tangents and all kinds of other recommendations for things to go watch. Positively Reviewed Podcast. The social media is POS Reviewed POD, Pause Reviewed Pod. You can check out. And if you're listening to our podcast on Apple, we would really appreciate if you left like a 12 out of 5 rating. Just leave it lots and lots of stars. Drop a comment.
All the stars.
Really likes it when you do that, and helps other people find our rambling tangents. So we would appreciate it.
And on that note, I will bring up one thing: is that next week I think two little bits. I think next week we are talking about doing kind of a recap episode in a way, and it's kind of like a summer recap or just kind of year recap. We're gonna be talking about really anything, not necessarily just the things that we've talked about in podcasts before, but just everything that we've kind of been playing and watching and doing over the last year. We're gonna do a little bit of just recap of the year so far. And you might be thinking, why don't you just wait until like December to do that? Well, we are talking about it, and we will get into the reasons more. But I am sad to say that our next podcast episode may be the last one for quite a while. We will, as I said, we will discuss it more on that episode at the top of the episode. So I know, sad to leave you on that information, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed the series so far, and hopefully you check out the potential last episode, and we will discuss more with you then. So look forward to that, and let's all have a good time. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you then. Cool.
We did not do a clap sync. So do you want to do it?
Yeah,
at
we
the
do that
end
now.
Now.
Yeah.
for
I
your
haven't stopped
sanity?
recording. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
a 5, 4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Okay, it's good. I think I'm just gonna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. We're good.
Processing on the whole thing. I can't believe like the background static
I meant
that
to.
my mic picks up.
Oh yeah. Have you listen like all the stuff I edit out of that kind of thing? It's good.
Oh no! Before I send it to you, I always do a quick processing to just pull out the basic background.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, why do you pick up that? But
It's crazy when it picks up.
on my stream, it doesn't pick up that because I have like noise gates and filters and compressors and all this other stuff. But in Audacity, I do not have those filters set up.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You have, yeah, and that's okay. I like the raw audio anyways because I can pull all that stuff out with filters and stuff through the editing software I use and whatnot. So,
And I didn't have my voice mod on this time, so that
I was going to
wasn't
ask you,
in.
did you have your voice mod on? I meant to ask you before at the top of the show, before we got into it, because that was a little bit of a pain to deal with.
Yeah.
Mainly for you. You had to get that stuff out of there. So.
Yeah, no, I fixed it this time. Did not do that again. Right, when is my file?
I might re-record kind of the ending of this podcast. I didn't like how that ending went. It was way too abrupt. So I might just add a little snippet at the end. Cut out the initial of me talking about it, but...
Hey, the magic of editing.
Yeah.
Fix it in post. Oh my gosh, my producer hates it so much when I say that. He's like, no! No!
Cut the check. Alright, what's my stream? Hey, Famous, how you guys doing? I know I didn't say hi to you guys earlier. How y'all doing? We'll mention it. Yeah, it'll probably be next week might be the last episode for a while. We're gonna go back to the drawing board on this a little bit, as well as just try and hopefully be at a point. Hopefully, I know with Nessa's work ethic and my work ethic, that's hard to line up, especially with our schedules being vastly different right now. It's very tough to find time. But
yeah, not only do we have different time zones, we have very different times we are awake.
Yeah, so we will try and find a time, because I mean, we talked about we'll talk more about like doing the TikTok stuff and whatnot, because I would love to do that with you. I just love doing stuff with you in general. This podcast has been a lot of fun. Yeah, that's it. I guess really that's the main thing that we're doing right now. But in general, it's just fun. So I'm always down to do more stuff. If you got anything you're like, hey, we should do this, I'll be like, all right, cool. Let me know when.
I mean, if you want to learn Dota, we can always.
Oh God,
can always
seems like a real scary. That seems like a terrible idea for me.
You'd probably be pretty good at it. It would just be like a little bit of learning curve, but you're like such a mechanical player that once you've learned it, you'd be way better than me at it. I don't know if you can pay attention for an hour straight, like without.
Oh, that's
break.
easy. You've never watched me play Escape from Tarkov?
No, I haven't. I do know someone who's looking for Escape from Tarkov talent, though.
Oh, I'm not talented at that game. I'll tell you. That game is too hardcore for me, and I still love it. I love it. It's the perfect amount of hardcore for me. It's the perfect game for me, but I am not good at it. So.
Okay, well, I have not eaten dinner yet, and I gotta run.
Yes, you gotta go. I know you do. I know we're holding you for a little while, so it was good. That was the perfect length of time for an episode. But we're chatty, so yeah, I like it. I'm chatty. You just have to listen.
Hey, I had my tangents this time. I was ready.
I love it when you go on tangents. It's great. So.
All right, well, get some sleep. Take a nap. Enjoy your day. Whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm. I got another probably 12-hour shift tonight, so it's a plan at least. So.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. All right, though. I'll catch you later. Thanks for doing this week, and we'll talk next week if I actually ever text you at some point. So.
All right. See ya.
See ya. There it is. All right. Oof. You know what? We're not gonna do that. I lie. I don't want to set up the camera. No, I can quickly do. All right. I haven't eaten anything yet today. It's been good. It's bad. I mean, you can see the bags under my eyes. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad. I feel Discord picked it up a lot more. I think I woke up, so I don't think it's as bad anymore. But it is really not good. I just look tired. Oh, there you go. If I go back, you could see it. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Whew, I see why people use stuff to hide that sometimes. Running low on sleep, so. I had to go do that really quick. Yeah. Andy, you know, the one thing that we forgot to talk, so me and Andy, we talked a bit yesterday. It was good. It was good catching up with the boy. But, and did you see that? I'm guessing you saw the thing I sent you? I'm guessing you did. I don't know if that was... I haven't actually fully read the article either, so I sent you that. I kind of read the kind of synopsis, and I was like, this feels like something that might help ease a little bit. So, I don't know though. I haven't fully read it, but it helps a little bit. Whenever I read those, I'm like, okay, it's just that knowledge of like, good to know that I'm not the only person in the world going through this, which I know I'm not, but still hearing it, it's one of those like, obviously I know I'm not, but hearing it helps. How did I know my camera was gonna fucking freeze there? But no, the one thing we forgot to chat about is Marvel. We didn't talk about Marvel yesterday at all. We talked about Shang-Chi, but I watched all the Marvel What Ifs. I did not watch one. I think didn't one come out like today or yesterday or something? I don't remember. One did just come out though, right? I think. Tomorrow. Okay, what was the latest? Was the latest one the zombies one, right? Was that the latest one? I watched up to that one, which... What if? Oh, so I haven't watched the latest. It's What If Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? Gotcha. I see. So I haven't watched that one. 4 and 3 was hell yeah. 1 and 2 was okay. Yeah, I agree. 1 and 2 was okay. I'm with you. 3 and 4 was hell yeah. I loved... Well, okay, I'll say 3 was very meh. I'll give 3... I'm knocking 3 because that's the What If Marvel lost its mightiest heroes. I'm giving that one a meh because... we don't know what, like, a lot of these tell us the scenario and what caused, they give us the situation that caused the break off in the timeline. That one did not. That is the only episode that did not explain. It explains it, but it doesn't actually, like, share any information. So I don't know what scenario happened, like... So, again, I don't want to say because if you haven't watched it, it's the main, like, that is the break off point in this timeline is the big spoiler of this episode, I guess. So it's why I don't want to tell you what it is. But yeah, I mean, each one they tell you very specifically. It's like they're like, oh, you know, things happen. Steve Rogers got shot, or the difference here was Peggy Carter was in the room when things went down. In this one, it was just Yondu landed in a different place and picked up the wrong guy, or he sent his Ravagers to pick up the boy instead of himself. This one was specifically you know, that Dr. Strange is dating. What's her name? I totally have forgotten her character's name. And so she's killed in a car accident rather than him losing his hands. And then the zombies, they explained that it was the virus. They explained the virus in it. I don't like how this one ended, I will say. I liked how this one ended, but also it confused me. There's a whole... oh, God, I can't really go into spoilers about it, but I'll say this ending didn't make sense to me. About the very final scene the very final scene that they showed when they were talking about, like, hope and stuff like that of just, you know, Spider-Man and how I love his character for that reason. It's why he's one of the greatest characters. So this one, I was like, there was the ending, I was like, this doesn't make any sense though, right? Like, why are they skip the third act of the story, lol. I didn't mind, like, I didn't mind the third act, sort of. There was some weirdness to it, I guess, with the zombies one. I don't know. I love the Marvel Zombies one. It was good. But it was that, like, I don't want to say, but I guess all I'll say is, why was Thanos in Wakanda? It made no sense. There was no reason for him to be there. I'm just saying. In the situation that was created, it doesn't make sense. Because Thanos went to Wakanda in Infinity War because there was an Infinity Stone there. That's where the Infinity Stones were. In this universe, in this situation, there are no Infinity Stones in Wakanda. So there was no reason for him to show up in Wakanda. That's all I'm saying. That's my one big plot hole to this. And it's not even a problem. It has nothing to do with the episode itself. It's just that very final sequence or shot, pretty much. But, like, it has basically nothing to do with the episode itself. I'm interested in what they do with this Ultron thing. I'm waiting for this. Is this... No, that's not Ultron. What is this? What's going on here? Is that Vision? Is this Ultron? Oh, is this like a what if Vision became Ultron, I guess? Is that what they're going to go for? I don't know. But they have a... Oh, it looks like they're going to have a what if Gamora was actually Thanos one. That looks fun. What the Ultron thing is? I mean, you could tell me spoilers. The episode's not out yet, right? Unless it's in this one. But the episode's not out yet. So, I assume it doesn't matter because we don't know much about it. So, but no, I'll say it's like, I think my favorite episodes were these two episodes. I agree with you. Having Doctor Strange interact with the Watcher was pretty great. And I love the concept where it's like, look, I love the idea that timelines end, I guess. I know the leaks. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, leave that out because I'm not the only one in this chat that cares about this series. So I personally don't care, but just do it because I don't want anyone who's in chat to be spoiled if they don't want it to be spoiled. So, but yeah, Gamora, like, I'm wondering if we're going to get the Nomad Gamora sometime soon. I'll show that really quick if you haven't seen. Let me show it really quick. Because it's a cool... I'll show the costume in Strike Force, but... Don't want to know, it's fine. I'm indifferent, is what I am with spoilers, Kuhn. So if you want to share it because you want to talk about it, then feel free to. But you know, you don't have to feel obligated. Like, I'm not... Yeah, indifferent to spoilers, so... Anyways, though, yeah, so as I mentioned, I think we're gonna tune down the podcast for a little while. We'll talk about it more next week for sure in the final episode. We're just gonna put it away, and this will be our season 1, I guess, of the podcast. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. But what if Thor was an only child? Interesting. That could be fun. I'm liking the series, so, but I already deleted. I think my favorite so far was the zombies and stuff, and it's just because I love the zombies universe in Marvel. I just love that timeline in general. I think it's hilarious, and I actually think they did a good job with this one. It's kind of interesting seeing this weird flirtatious thing between Hope and Peter. That was a totally random thing I was not expecting. Didn't mind it. Dude, Shang-Chi, overpowered as fuck in this game. But here's Gamora. Here you go. You ready? So this is... I'm actually kind of hoping we get this in the I hope we actually get her weapon here and her outfit in Guardians 3. I really hope we get this. I think this is a fucking badass Gamora costume. So it's and I'll say what it is. I mean, it says after learning a piece of her essence was trapped inside the Soul Stone, Gamora embarks on a quest to find it. Abandoned by her teammates, she adopted the identity Requiem to hunt down the stones, letting no one stand in her way. So this is Infinity Countdown 2018. So it wasn't that long ago. Number 4. But so this is the thing, but I kind of love the idea because that kind of works for this kind of works for the live action. I'm just saying, like, the concept that the reason she's kind of in a weird state of why she kind of walked away and all that from her teammates is, one, she's out of a different timeline. The Gamora that we have in the Marvel movies right now is a different timeline Gamora, but also because part of her soul is still trapped in the Soul Stone. I think that could be an interesting concept that they might do. So we'll see. Didn't you already show me this? What is this? Oh, no, you did Star Wars last time. Yeah. All right, well, I don't need to see a second version of this. The first one was funny. I don't know if I'm going to care to see a second. Wildfires, yeah, I get it. Hilarious.
What do we do, Cap? We fight.
This is gonna end well.
Not stopping.
Neither are we.
I got a problem with this one. I got a problem with this. It should be flipped. This makes no sense. No offense, this makes no sense. I'm just saying this one makes no sense. It should be they should be flopped. The perspectives, if you know Civil War, the perspectives of what Captain America and stuff is pushing versus what Iron Man and his set is pushing, the people with the press and Biden and what they're aligning here is much more along the lines of what Captain America and stuff was standing for in this. So this is I'm sorry, but this is backwards. That's all I'm saying.
The revolution has begun.
Revolution? How did this happen?
Don't know. And the slaves have armed themselves.
I don't like that word.
Which mainframe?
Yes word. Yes word.
Sorry, the prisoners with jobs have armed themselves.
Okay, that's better. That's better.
Dude, that's one of my favorite lines of that.
She just told everyone your deepest, darkest secret.
Dude, come on. I think you're overreacting a little bit.
You must be so embarrassed.
I have never felt such shame.
So unbelievably uncool.
Marvel, that's pretty much it. Yeah, just what if. Yeah, no, that was all I was mentioning. Was I didn't talk about what if really. So I don't know if there's anything else. I'm sure I'll think of something, but. Oh, I see. Oh, you changed your rating. So yeah, exactly what you said. 1 through 3 was okay. 4 to 5 was hell yeah, and then 6 was okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. Love it. The truth here.
No.
Ah, kids never cared about Chuck. Do kids like Chuck E. Cheese still? I don't know. Warrior Season 2 when you can. Oh, yeah, dude, I really need to. I was talking to my parents. They're actually ahead of me now in the Warrior. And they were saying that it's definitely, they're like, it's better than Season 1. And I was a little hesitant. Because as I said, some of the initial beginnings, what they did with, like, Lee's character and stuff, with him dealing with his concussion, about now he's just, like, kind of an angry dude. I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this. There's something about that I really liked with Lee initially from the first season. And again, certain aspects that they kind of threw out from the first season that they're doing in the second. But I've only watched the first episode, but I heard that that kind of adjust accordingly. So I was like, okay, that's. I was like, it's probably just the first episode kind of thing going on. So.
7-Eleven. Oxygen will run out tomorrow morning. And that'll be it.
I should probably lie down for a minute, rest my eyes. No. No, I don't think I will.
Don't think I will.
So he's an idiot.
Don't say it. Don't you say it.
Left.
Come on!
Entourage for like 5th or 6th time. Gotcha.
Dude, you just ran like 13 miles in 30 minutes.
Guess I got a late start.
Really? You should be ashamed of yourself.
We'll use them to bypass the DNA scans and access to helicarriers directly.
What? Are you crazy? That is a terrible, terrible idea.
Oh, Jesus.
What are you doing? We don't do that here. So how big of an study
Stave off something worse. You keep telling yourself that. Hate to break up the set. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. I have eyes on Loki, 14th floor. Move away from your station.
Like he said.
Man, World War III's already going on. I'm just saying.
You picked the wrong side, Agent.
Depends on where you're standing.
World War III's happening. You guys just don't. No one realizes it, but it's going on. It already happened, and is happening. Cyber warfare, baby. That's where it's at.
We're gonna be okay. You can rest now.
So are we getting now in the next because of Shang-Chi, Bruce Banner is no longer a Hulkish? Are we getting like old Hulk again? Like what happened there? I want to know. Was it okay? Yeah, I'll be honest. As I said, I think because we watched the same thing twice. We just watched the same video twice in 2 days. So I'm kind of like meh, whatever. It was fine. Just as good as the Star Wars one, I'll say. Oof. Said to be in the She-Hulk. Nice. That's good. Glad to see it. So, yeah. Hello. Yeah, we're not getting any like Avengers. We're not getting any like Avengers movies or stuff for a while. Brett, Grey Wolf, chill the fuck out. Why are you caring? Are you getting a sense of deja vu yet? Wasn't this exactly what you said the last time it happened? And then you waited fucking like 2 hours and then you got an invite? Chill the fuck out. You're gonna get your invite. Again, I got my invite and my profile wasn't even working. Like, I'm just saying, my profile was my profile got disconnected from the insider program, and I literally filled it out yesterday. You know, the day that we got invited, I filled it out that day, and then a few hours later I got the invite. So like, you'll be fine. I'm pretty sure they're going for massive scale testing. So literally, if you sign up, you will get into the flight, because I think they are going for scale testing. Although I will say that I finally read some of the actual stuff going on with it. I'm a little like meh. I'm a little meh on it all right now. Oh, let me turn the light back on. I was gonna get going here, but if you haven't read, this is not gonna be like the last flight. I don't know if I really agree with it. I think it just seems like more work for them. It's not going to be like the last flight. So they actually will have scheduled playtimes. And I understand this. I know why they're doing this. I don't think it's a great idea because it just sounds like so much more work for them. But their goal is, our goal for the 2 tech previews will be test our online services and larger scale than before. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're doing large scale testing. So if you sign up for Insider, you will get into it. Literally, to achieve this goal, all insiders with eligible accounts as of September 13th will be invited. And I'm sure there'll be some afterwards, too. I think September 13th is just their way of guaranteeing you'll get in. So, but I think you can sign up now and you can still get into it. So, our secondary goals of the 2 are to find additional bugs. So, but it's all about large testing. And so the reason they're not just keeping it open, because what they're doing is during these 2, we have plenty of new experiences. Wait, hold on, where does it say? It feels bang long. Now as the launch approaches, time to look and even bigger. This weekend, taken up, but last specifics. Okay, yeah. So it says is to help focus our population and test our servers even more. Matchmaking will be limited to set periods of time in the day. You can find out more about those matchmaking windows below. So pretty much what they're doing is they are limiting when you can actually play the game. You'll be able to play Academy whenever you want, I believe, but they are limiting when you'll play the game, and that is a way to force people, right? Like, when they had the game open whenever, you could just hop in and hop out when you wanted. And that's good. That's good to just test, like, the playing, and it's good to get people on their first impression on the game. But, you know, they wanted people to play at very specific times. But, like, people don't care. They're just like, you know, 99.9% of the people are just like, oh, I have the game. I'll just play it when I want, right? They're going to see the update. They're like, hey, our official play session started. They're like, well, I could just play it in, like, 2 hours. I don't really care. Like, I can't do it right now. So this is their way of, like, being like, hey, if you want to play, here are the times to do it. It's pretty much 2 a.m. or 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Those are the play sessions every single day. I will be honest. Well, this is Friday through Monday. Friday, I will probably not be playing in the very first session. So just be wary for my stream here. I will not be playing on the 10 a.m. sessions on Fridays. Mainly because I will probably be getting home at 10 a.m. this week. So this weekend, I will probably be getting home at 10 a.m. So I'm going to go to sleep. I will wake up. You know, a lot of times I don't start streaming till 6. I will wake up to make sure I play these sessions, though. So I will, and again, over the next few days, I will play these as well. But these are just like, these are the matchmaking available times. And again, flight access closes. Oh, that's kind of a shame. But, so you have to play during these times, otherwise you will not get a chance to play. And I get some people hate it, like a lot of people in the Europe and just across the country, across the world are not as happy because that's not ideal for them, and I get it. But this is their way of forcing you to actually play these, and I understand, like, but yeah. So you just be wary of that. And then we got BTB on the week after. So, yay. You work 20 hours every weekend. How the fuck am I gonna play during the schedule time? Sucks, I know, but like I mean that's part of all this stuff is like some people are they take a day off. If you really want to play, take a day off or take a little bit of time off or something and ask and see if you can call in sick or something for a day. I know it's not the most ideal for everyone, but this is their way they need to do to test it. Again, people forget that the flights are not betas. I know I constantly talk about how they're betas. They're not betas. They are flights, and the purpose of these flights are to test specific aspects of the game. And I know that's not ideal for the players, but that is what the studio needs, I guess, and that's what it is. Is like these flights are more about what does the studio need, not what do the players need. And I guess only get 5 call-offs a year. Right, so don't do that. Save it all for when Halo Infinite launches. Save all your call-offs for then. But yeah, it's definitely it's not the most ideal. I'm telling you. I don't know what times of the day you work, but if you work like literally middle of the day, if you start working at 10 o'clock and then you work until I don't know, whenever. But like if you work 20 hours over the week, I mean that doesn't add up. You've got 4 days. You've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Is what it said. Did it also have? Oh yeah, and then they just said it closes on Sunday, right? So, Infinite launches on Wednesday. That's when? Doesn't it launch on a Friday or a Thursday or a Tuesday or something? I don't know. What days does it do? It's October 8th. Oh yeah, I guess it does. Why a Wednesday? That's so fucking random. Why a Wednesday? What the fuck? That's so random. Why? So I guess that means it technically launches Tuesday, right? I guess games do come out on Wednesdays, because then they actually launch on Tuesday. They'll launch on Tuesday at night. I will tell you, fuck. That actually kind of fucks with my schedule. Kind of wishing it came out on Friday. I'm trying to think of like I assumed it came out on Friday. Because I was going to take an entire week off work. But this is during peak season, so they're not going to let me take off a lot of time is the problem. Yeah, they're not going to let me like just I could take how do I want to do this? Because, like, I wanted to... I'll take a week off, but... do I take 2 weeks off? Do I just take, like... I'll just say from Tuesday... Maybe I won't do, like, as I said, yeah, that actually might be perfect. Ooh, that actually might work. Because if I work Monday and I do, like... And I'm still doing double shifts by this point, which is kind of the plan right now. If I still do a double shift this week... or the week that this is, on the 6th, you can't see it, on the 6th, I could do a double shift, and then I sleep in until the launch, which will probably be at like 9 o'clock my time. So I sleep until then, and then I can do a 24-hour stream that goes over through Wednesday. And then I stream all the way through Sunday. And then maybe I go back to work on Monday. But I was like, I'm kind of like, half my mind is like, maybe I take this week off. Like I take Tuesday all the way through Thursday, which is my last day that I work. So maybe I just take 2 full weeks off, but that seems like that's too much time. That's way too much time. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Is like, do they know that I'm a streamer? My bosses don't know. I guess people I work with. I wear Twitch shirts every once in a while. Some Twitch shirts I use are good for work. So I wear those, and then people ask me questions, and I'm honest, and I'll tell them. But like, again, people who don't know streaming don't understand what you do for it. So like, even if my bosses knew that I was a streamer, first off, I'm pretty sure that I have a good feeling that the two bosses I have are not really gamers or nerds, so they will have no fucking clue what Twitch is, and they won't have any concept of it. So if I tell them, hey, I need a week off, they'll just assume I'm on vacation. Which I can. I mean, technically I have. I think it's now over a year, and I think I get 2 weeks vacation every year. Again, the only big problem, I think the only thing stopping me here is my own feelings. Is I personally I hate leaving. I like to think I have a good work ethic, is the fact. And I know that this is the busiest time of the year. This area, and again, pretty much November, starting November all the way through the beginning of January is the busiest time. It is peak season for UPS. So this is the worst time. If you are going to take time off during the year, this is the worst time of the year to take off. For UPS, that is. For you, it's probably the best time because it is the busiest, so you get to take it easy when it's the worst. But they need more help than ever, and I feel bad leaving them. I know I shouldn't. UPS, in reality, doesn't give a fuck about me personally. They don't give a shit. But I still feel bad when I take time off during the busiest times, right? Like, I don't... Yeah. So, I'll see. I might try to take both weeks off. I might just try to take off until Monday. I might just do that. So I'll take basically like 7 days off. I'll take Tuesday through Sunday off, which I don't work the weekend anyways. And then from there, I'll go back to work. And I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling because, I wouldn't mind taking 2 weeks off. That would be fine if it was any other time of the year. But I'll see how I'm feeling once we get closer to Infinite. So, and I guess it'll be partly like how much money am I at? Like, have I bought my PC at this point and stuff like that? So, it's, if you work your ass off, they won't question giving you a vacation. Yeah, that's a fucking lie. That's what you wish would happen, but that's not how that fucking works. Trust me. I speak from experience many times. I know I work my fucking ass off for my jobs. They know it. I know these jobs rely on me. That's how I was at Costco. I know they relied on me. They used to guilt trip me all the time. They're like, hey, can you work extra? Like, we don't have anyone who knows how to do this job for this, like, fucking make pizza. They're like, we don't have anyone else who knows how to make pizza for another, like, 3 hours. Could you just stick around? I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. And all that bullshit. So trust me, I know. And then it works like that at your job. That's great. And again, and most of the time that's what you want, and it depends on your bosses. It completely depends on what your bosses are. Sometimes you got bosses who just don't give a fuck. And I'm telling you, UPS is a place that does not give a fuck. They don't notice hard work. They notice lazy workers. They don't notice hard workers, though. They don't give a fuck. You do the job and you will get no praise for it. And you need to be okay with that. That's fine. You don't always need to have praise on it. You're paid to do the job, right? But they're not gonna fucking notice. They don't pay enough attention. Here's the thing about jobs that I've learned. People have their own shit to deal with. No one's gonna give you anything unless you ask for it or work for it, because everyone else is doing their own shit. They don't notice shit. You could get away, depending on the kind of job you have and the people you work with and your bosses, you can get away with so much garbage working at, depending on your jobs. And you can. I know people. This will sound bad. I'll tell you. I had one day. Here, you wanna hear? One day about 2 weeks ago. And I feel bad about doing this, is why I don't. And also, I'm like, I work and I do. But I'll tell you, I did a double shift 2 weeks ago on like a Tuesday. I was obscenely tired. And I did a double shift. And really what I did is I just went to my fucking car and I slept. I slept in my car for fucking 4 hours until it was around the time that the next shift usually gets out of work. And then I went back inside and clocked out and went. No one fucking noticed. Not a single person noticed. And they won't. And you can get away with that. I was able, they would notice on your timesheet. They would notice on your timesheet, they would be like, why is this person working all double shifts? And they might check, and that's when you gotta be, You got to be good, and it's why you like you said, you do have to be a good worker. If you are a good worker, the fact is they won't give you anything if you're a good worker, but they won't notice your bullshit. Is sleeping car boys? Yeah. Is I did it once. I've done it once. I'm not gonna do it again because again, you gotta work that good interest. And the fact is the supervisor who works the second shift really likes me because she knows I'm a good worker. She notices because she actually cares about her employees, right? She notices and she likes me a lot for that. She would let me get away with that shit. And the fact is it's been a long enough time that if you do it once in a while, no one's gonna fucking notice. If you do that every day, someone's gonna take notice. But if you do it once, like if the person who works the timesheets went to that supervisor and be like, hey, I see that John is working double shifts every single day. Is that true? Like, did he work last Monday or something? She would be like, well, he's been working pretty much every single day for me, so yeah, I assume he was there. I don't remember. That was a fucking week ago. I got way more important things to deal with than remember every single employee who was there every single day. He comes and helps out pretty much every single day, so yeah, I assume he was there. No one's gonna fucking notice. So, you know, but I say this because I come from a perspective of Costco is a good example. I routinely, when the very first manager I had in that department was amazing. If I ever asked off for time, he loved me so much. He knew I was a really hard worker. I was one of his best workers. He would routinely tell me, like, he's like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. And that's a good boss to have. It depends. It completely depends on the boss. If you have bosses like that, those are the people who will let you get away with anything. And it was like, if I asked, I was like, hey, I need a day off. He's like, done. Tell me what day. You let me know, it's done. I'll make sure you get it. But as soon as he left the department and we started getting other managers and supervisors, those people were so much more focused on their own career and their own shit. They didn't give a fuck, right? Like there was routinely, I would go through the whole process. Like before I could just tell my boss, hey, I need a day off and he would give me. Now I had to like go through the whole like fill out a paper 2 weeks before, submit it, have it come back to me, make sure I sign off on it, give it back. Like I went through the whole process and they still fucking would not give me time off. I would ask for like 2 months in advance. I would need the days off. Like my birthday, I would always get off. So I would ask like 2 months in advance, hey, I need June 28th off. Come June 28th, they're like, hey, John, where are you? You're supposed to be working today. And I'm like, fuck no, I'm not. I signed a goddamn paper 2 months ago. And that's why you have paperwork, so you have proof that you can do it. But long story short, don't fucking rely that you can get away with shit. Make sure you go through the correct channels. Make sure you have things written down on paper. And it totally depends on your job. If you have that kind of relationship with your job and your boss is an actual good boss, then awesome. That's good. Then yes. I'll be honest, the best bosses are the people who do actually pay attention to their employees. But people, like I said, people are so out for themselves, they do not care. They do not notice. Most people will not notice, and they won't. They've got more important things to deal with. The fact is they're not thinking about, like, was John here on that Monday? They're not paying attention to that because they don't notice. They've got their own shit to deal with and their own things on their mind. And that's what currently, like, my bosses are, don't get me wrong, the current people who are my bosses and my supervisor, they're fine, but they're kind of absent. They're not around. They come check in with us, like, hey, how are things going every 2 hours? Okay. But they don't notice if I'm doing a good job or not. So, anyways, though. If you can use it, you abuse it. Yeah, no, I don't. I won't. I won't ever, kind of thing, so. Have a good time, because we won't, lol. Yeah, it's the same thing. I feel that. I feel that big is there's a lot of guilt tripping from bosses and stuff, and those are bosses who are bad. So, and that's fine. But as I said, I know I'm a hard worker, and I make sure I do. And as I said, I put in time and effort. So it's one of those that I feel bad, but I'll see. I'll be calling. I'll see how long I'm gonna take vacation off. And again, I am owed the vacation time, so it's not like I'm just taking off to take off and just leaving them to handle. It's like, yeah, I am supposed to get like 2 weeks vacation time. I just feel bad it's during peak season. And again, I have to go through all the channels. Like, it's, again, managers and bosses, they don't really have a say. It's a whole, because it's union and stuff like that, it's a whole protected worker thing. So I have to go through, like, asking time off through the union, and then they will relay it to my bosses and stuff like that. And I mean, I relay it too, but you know, I basically I go through that, and it's all protected. So it's but long story short, point is like, bosses don't care, union don't care. I'm just another cog in the machine that if I say like, hey, I need some time off, they'll be like, yep, that's fine. They don't notice whether I'm a good worker or not. So trust me, people take advantage of that. I see a lot of people get away with a lot of shit. So, and it's pretty shitty in a lot of ways. So yeah, most people don't take birthdays off. That's kind of a weird thing. Is like, there's a lot of people in the world. There's a lot of people in it's a split thing. There's people who like want all their birthdays off, and then there's the people who work through their birthdays. So, but alrighty, my long story short, that's my bit. We'll see if I get in trouble. I won't, but we'll find out. I'm gonna get going, by the way. I gotta get going. I got a few things I gotta take care of. I know normally today's a stream day, but today is just that podcast day. And then I am actually gonna head back to bed for a little while. I'm gonna go back to sleep. As I said, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. That is not enough to do another double shift. So, I gotta do the shit post. I'll go through that. But I am gonna actually go back to sleep for a few hours, so that I am ready for work, because I am, like I said, I'm working my ass off. I'm doing like 12-hour shifts every single day. It's not 12. I'm doing like 9 to 10 hour shifts in reality. But the other day yesterday, or not last night, but the day before the night before was a 11-hour shift, 11 and a half hour shift. So, it's a lot. It's a lot of work, but yes. Point is, I will be heading out. I gotta mail stuff. I gotta mail things for you, True. I gotta mail your shit. So, putting it all in a nice little package and sending it off to you. Doing that, and then I am sleeping. For that reason. Oh, I guess one thing I wanted to bring up before I go is I think we're gonna restart the Insanity gaming challenges a little bit. I think is the plan. I think we're going to restart Insanity gaming challenges, quote unquote. I think it's, once again, I really think it's a good idea. I really do believe it was the right direction. I know I started this like 2 years ago, you know, the whole death lists in games and damage lists and stuff like that. I think and its point is like, once again, it's a decision of like, do I want to do what I want to do, or should I do what's best for content creation? And really, I should be doing what's best for content creation if I want this to work out. So, but I think, once again, I have to be very vague, and I have to try my best to make things work in my favor, right? I don't know if I'll necessarily immediately hop on Damage List Halo again. But like speedruns, like the world record run can be considered an Insane Gaming Challenge. But I'm thinking the one I'm vibing with right now in my head is trying to get to rank 100 as a hunter on Deathloop. That's an Insane Gaming Challenge. It's like, what's the fewest amount of loops I can do to get to rank 100? And I don't really have to try. Like, I should need to play in a certain way to get the most amount of points, but a lot of it is just being on a win streak. But yeah, just getting level 100 in Deathloop. That's what I want to do, but I can make that, I can just say that that's a challenge, right? And that's really what I need to start doing, is like Hades. Hades was a good example. I was like, can I beat this game within 10 tries, right? Is that we ended up having, like, literally the 6th run I did was all of a sudden this, like, I almost beat the game on this just insane RNG luck run on my, like, 6th time doing it. So, I think we might start doing that, because I think that's really what I should be doing for my YouTube, because I just don't have a lot of inspiration for anything else to do for my YouTube. I don't know what else to do for videos, for content. And I think it'll be good. They'll make for good highlights. And again, it'll be, I think what I want to call it was the journeyman. Journeyman. I want to be known as the journeyman. That's the new brand for it. It's still gonna be Insanity Gaming Challenges, but we could start pushing this whole journeyman, where it's not necessarily about just doing the challenge itself, but it's the journey of doing the challenge, right? So that's why I could do like a daily, not necessarily daily uploads. I don't know if I want to do that, but highlights. I would want to do highlights of a few days and stuff like that, of the journey to get to Road 100, and we specifically focus on like specific matches or specific moments in it, where there was that one match where I basically killed the dude. I spawned in and then I basically murdered the dude within 30 seconds 3 times. I just like saw him, ran up, assassinated him, immediately figured out where he was probably going to teleport back to, and then just murdered him again, and then murdered, like, the dude didn't even have any idea what hit him. He was so lost. And it's one of those that I think I'll do like a highlight reel of just like, this is journey, you know, the journeyman does the journey to level 100 hunter rank in Deathloop, right? So that's good. How far am I from 152? About 16 mil XP. It's about 160 hours. I'm doing okay on that. So I definitely gotta step up a little bit. I gotta get through it right now because I'm a little behind, but I just do a few. I'll probably, hell, maybe I'll do some today when I wake up. So, but are there any tricks on Halo that aren't fully explored on YouTube content? Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty. But that's not really shit I enjoy doing. That's not really content I want to make, because it's just not. It just doesn't feel very inspired to me. So. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff. And again, I'm not great at tutorials anyways. So. Alright, though. I'm going to get going. You guys are beautiful. You guys are sexy. I love you all. We'll talk more about that, I think, tomorrow. Normally, again, I don't stream on Wednesdays, but I think I will be streaming tomorrow. As I said, I think we're going to get back. This is part of the whole thing, is I think I'm going to get back to streaming every single day. Oh, I got more Pokemon cards, by the way. I got more Shining Fates. I got some more Shining Fates. I got some Pikachus and stuff. And I got a pretty little adorable. Nope, that's the wrong camera. I got an adorable little Eevee VMAX. Freaking amazing card. Super awesome. I'm down for it. So, got one of those. But these ones are actually, some of these are going to be sold, but most of these are going to be for me. I got one more Evolving Fates. I am not going to do another pack opening for at least 2 weeks. I'm waiting for the next paycheck, and then I'm actually going to buy more cards. I'm going to buy another few sets of cards. I want to have a big inventory, because I want to do a big opening where we basically do a pack opening. Each pack takes like an hour to open, if not a little more, because I go the pace I go through it. So I want to do a day where we just do like 8 hours of Pokemon card opening. So waiting for that. But anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.